Chapter 3976. After joining Che Xiaorui's group, the strange beast set off once again. Along the way, Che Xiaorui chatted cheerfully. Most of the time, it was Che Xiaorui talking while Zhuan listened. Soon, the strange beast arrived at the gates of the Hong Martial Divine Sect. "Do you have an invitation from the Hong Martial Divine Sect?" The gatekeeper stopped the strange beast and asked in a deep voice. Che Xiaorui took out an invitation and handed it to the gatekeeper. "We are from the Great Music Bar. This is the invitation." The gatekeeper looked at the invitation in his hand and nodded, allowing Che Xiaorui's group to enter the Hong Martial Divine Sect. Che Xiaorui's group smoothly entered the Hong Martial Great Hall. At this moment, the Grand Martial Hall was extraordinarily bustling. Numerous long tables were placed on both sides of the hall, and a beautiful maidservant stood beside every single table. They served tea, poured wine, and served food. At the center of the hall, numerous beautiful maidservants were dancing lightly and gracefully along with beautiful music. In the great hall, many of the upper echelons of the sects were already seated. The experts who were familiar with each other were chatting. At the main seat of the great hall, Shi Shenhong was chatting happily with the Eight Gods Zhan Sect's vice sect master, Yun Kanglin, and the great guardian of the Crimson Summit Temple, Gongye Bolong. The Great Music Bar could only be considered an upper-middle sect in the Wukong state. Therefore, when the receptionist announced the Great Music Bar's name, it didn't attract the attention of the experts in the Great Hall. Even Shi Shenhong didn't raise his head. He didn't even look at the people from the Great Music Bar. Che Xiaorui didn't feel awkward. She knew that with her status, it wasn't enough to attract Shi Shenhong's attention. The moment Zhuowen's group stepped into the Great Hall, they looked coldly at Shi Shenhong. Che Xiaorui's group found a more secluded spot and sat down. The tables in the Great Hall were long enough to seat more than 10 people. Therefore, when Che Xiaorui's group sat down, they didn't feel crowded. A beautiful maid stood beside the table and poured wine for Che Xiaorui's group with a smile. Zhuowen raised his wine cup and took a sip. Luo Lingyu approached him and whispered, "Junior brother Daowen, when are we going to act?" Hong Shenwu also looked at Zhuowen. Zhuowen had become their backbone. This time, they were all in disguise. If Shi Shenhong did not observe carefully, he might not be able to recognize them. Let's wait and see. When the banquet officially begins, I will give Shi Shenhong an anniversary celebration that he will never forget, Zhuowen said calmly. It didn't take long for the upper echelons of the sect to arrive. Yun Kanglin and Gongye Bolong, who were chatting happily with Shi Shenhong, also took their seats. The beautiful women dancing in the center of the hall also retreated. Shi Shenhong sat on the main seat, raised his wine cup, and smiled at the crowd in the hall. "Today is the 30,000-year anniversary of my Hong Martial Divine Sect. It is a joyous occasion for my Hong Martial Divine Sect. Everyone invited here is giving me, Shi Shenhong, and the Hong Martial Divine Sect face. Let me offer a toast to everyone." Everyone raised their wine glasses and spoke politely, but in their hearts, they felt quite comfortable because of Shi Shenhong's words. Next, the banquet reached its climax. Everyone was in high spirits as they toasted each other. Shi Shenhong was also very happy. He came down to chat with the upper echelons of the sect that he was familiar with. The atmosphere was very harmonious. Even Che Xiaorui found other upper echelons of the sect that she was familiar with. They toasted each other and chatted happily. Zhuowen silently sat in front of the table. After drinking the wine in his hand, he suddenly stood up and smashed the wine cup on the ground. Bang! The wine cup shattered, and the crisp sound echoed throughout the hall. The originally harmonious atmosphere in the hall instantly quieted down. Everyone stopped talking and involuntarily looked at Chun. Che Xiaorui, who was chatting with several upper echelons of the sect, also looked at Zhuowen with a puzzled expression. She found it strange that Zhuowen would suddenly smash his wine cup. This kind of behavior was extremely rude. She was afraid that Shi Shenhong would chase him out. As expected, Shi Shenhong's expression turned ugly as he coldly looked at Zhuowen. However, when he saw Zhuowen's face, he couldn't help but be startled. This was because he wasn't unfamiliar with this young man. This was the young man that Hong Shenwu had tried his best to protect. He was a remnant of the Hong sect. At the same time, Shi Shenhong also saw Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu standing behind Juan. His eyes were filled with shock. Hong Shenwu? Luo Lingyu? You guys have guts to come to the Hong martial divine sect. Shi Shenhong revealed a cold smile as his eyes were filled with killing intent. At the same time, he had secretly sent out a message. Many cultivators of the Hong martial divine sect began to gather outside the Hong martial hall. Many of the upper echelons of the sect present also revealed shocked expressions. Although they had never seen these three people before, they had heard of Hong Shenwu and knew that he was the sect master of the Hong sect. However, they remembered that Hong Shenwu was captured by Hong Wushengzhen. Why would he appear here now? Brother Daowen, what are you guys doing? Why aren't you apologizing to sect master Shi? Che Xiaorui was extremely anxious as she hurried to Zhuowen's side and whispered to them. Apologize? Why should I apologize? If anyone should apologize, it should be Shi Shenhong who kneels down and apologizes to us. To be honest, I came here today to kill Shi Shenhong and destroy the Hong martial divine sect. As long as Shi Shenhong kneels down and apologizes and commits suicide, the Hong martial divine sect can still survive. Zhuowen said calmly. Che Xiaorui's heart sank. She knew that once Zhuowen said those words, even if he apologized, it would be useless. Shi Shenhong would definitely not let him off easily. Everyone in the hall looked at Zhuowen as if they were looking at an idiot. This kid was too arrogant. He actually dared to say that he would kill Shi Shenhong and destroy the Hong martial divine sect. How could he possibly do it? Unless he was a fiend god transformation expert and wanted to come personally. However, Yuan was too young and obviously couldn't be a fiend god transformation expert. How long has it been since we last met? You little bastard, your words are getting more and more arrogant. Today, since you've delivered yourself to my doorstep, you won't be able to escape even if you have wings. An extremely terrifying aura erupted from Shi Shenhong's body. It was as if a terrifying mountain was crashing down, filling the entire hall with a terrifying pressure. Shi Shenhong, I'm no longer the same as before. The current me can kill you as easily as slaughtering a dog. Zhuan shook his head. Shi Shenhong was so angry that he laughed. This kid must have gone crazy. He actually dared to say that he could kill him as easily as slaughtering a dog. Good. I want to see how you can kill me as easily as slaughtering a dog. I'll give you a chance to challenge me. Go to the Hong Martial Plaza now. Shi Shenhong said coldly. Zhuan smiled slightly and didn't say anything. Instead, he walked out of the hall and towards the vast Hong Martial Plaza outside. Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu followed closely behind. After being stunned for a while, the upper echelons of the sect swarmed out. They were all very interested in Zhuowen's challenge to Shi Shenhong. Chapter 3977. The cultivator army of the Hong martial divine sect had already surrounded the Hongwu Square. However, they were all guarding the edge of the square. Shi Shenhong didn't give them any orders, so they naturally couldn't take the initiative to attack. At this moment, these cultivators saw a young man leisurely walk out of the Hongwu Hall and come to the edge of the square. Shi Shenhong followed closely behind him. Then, in the Hongwu Hall, many of the sect's upper echelons who were attending the banquet stopped at the edge of the square. Their faces were filled with interest. Sai, this Daowen, isn't he courting death? Che Xiaorui was in the crowd. She looked at Zhuowen, who was standing in the center of the square with a complicated expression and couldn't help but shake her head. Vice Sect Master Yun, don't you feel that this kid's figure is a little familiar? Great Guardian Gongye Bolong whispered to Yun Kanglin beside him. Yun Kanglin's beautiful eyes were filled with doubt. She nodded and said, I also feel that this Daowen's figure is a little familiar, but I just can't remember where I've seen him before. Fine, who cares if he's someone I've seen before? He'll be a dead man soon. It's not worthwhile for us to bicker with him. Gongye Bolong shook his head and laughed. Gongye Bolong and Yun Kanglin weren't the only ones who thought so. Everyone present thought that Zhuowen was courting death. The sect master of the Hong martial divine sect, Shi Shenhong, was recognized as one of the top experts in the Wukong region. His cultivation base had reached the middle stage of the God Domain transformation stage. His strength was unfathomable. How could he be defeated by this unknown brat? Among this group of people, only 2 people were confident in Zhuowen. They were Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu. Luo Lingyu had seen with her own eyes how Zhuowen killed the half-step God domain transformation Mo Hongxian with one move. Without a doubt, Zhuowen had the strength of a God domain transformation. He wouldn't be much weaker than Shi Shenhong. As for Hong Shenwu, he knew that Zhuowen even dared to challenge the Hongwu Shengzhen. Naturally, he wouldn't doubt Zhuowen's strength. Your name is Daowen, right? I really don't know where you got the courage to challenge me. You have to know that even your Hong Shenwu, the leader of the Hong sect, might not be my match. Shi Shenhong clasped his hands behind his back, the arrogance in his eyes shooting out like lightning. Although Hong Shenwu had defeated him back then, that was because Hong Shenwu had put his life on the line. However, Shi Shenhong was no longer the same as before. He had received many resources from Hongwu Shengzhen, as well as powerful divine items. His cultivation base had reached the peak of the mid-god domain transformation, and he had powerful divine items. Even Hong Shenwu wasn't a match for him now. Not to mention this young man who had been protected by Hong Shenwu back then. I've said it before. I'll kill you like a dog. I'm not here to challenge you. I'm here to kill you. Zhuowen said indifferently. Shi Shenhong was furious. At this point, this kid was still so arrogant. Where did he get the confidence to be so arrogant? Good. I didn't expect you to be so arrogant at this point. Originally, I wanted to spare your dog life, but now it seems like there's no need for that. Arrogant and ignorant trash like you should be killed. As he spoke, Shi Shenhong stood where he was and punched out with his right hand. Terrifying divine energy gathered in the void, forming a huge blood-red palm. This blood-red palm was simply too enormous. It was like an insurmountable mountain that fell from the sky. Everywhere it passed, space collapsed and formed countless black holes. So powerful! This Shi Shenhong has become even stronger. He's probably not far from the late God domain transformation. In the crowd, Yun Kanglin and Gong Yebelong's expressions changed slightly, and their hearts sank. Although they had chatted and laughed with Shi Shenhong at the banquet, they knew deep down that their sects were competitors with the Hong martial divine sect. Naturally, they didn't want Shi Shenhong to become too strong. Everyone cried out in alarm. They could feel the terror of Shi Shenhong's palm, and they all cast pitiful gazes at the young man standing not far away. This young man was really courting death. Why did he have to provoke Shi Shenhong in public? Now, his death was at hand. Boom, boom, boom. The blood-red palm was too terrifying. It let out thunderous booms as it fell, and Zhuowen's entire body was drowned in it. The entire Hong martial square shook violently as if there was an earthquake. The area where Zhuowen was standing crumbled inch by inch. It was like a dense spider web, and it was extremely terrifying. Everyone shook their heads. They knew that Zhuowen was dead for sure. Even an early God domain transformation expert wouldn't feel good after receiving such a palm, let alone a yin-yang transformation expert like Zhuowen. When the dust settled, everyone's eyes suddenly widened, because they saw that in the center of the dust, there was a figure that looked like a long spear, standing upright. This person was none other than Zhuowen. At this moment, Zhuowen's entire body was shining with golden light. He was like a god that had descended to the mortal world. In that instant, he had fused with the sun god, and his body was unparalleled. Even Shi Shenhong's attack couldn't cause too much damage to him. HM? Your body? Shi Shenhong immediately saw that Zhuowen's body was extraordinary. Although he had only casually attacked, it wasn't something an ordinary martial artist could withstand. However, Zhuowen seemed to be unharmed. It was clear that his body had reached an extremely terrifying level. Shi Shenhong, is this all you've got? If so, then you're too weak. Zhuowen shook his head. Shi Shenhong's face immediately darkened. He coldly said, "Don't think that you're amazing just because you took one of my moves. I only used 30% of my strength. Now, I won't be merciful." With that, Shi Shenhong took a step forward, and a terrifying energy ripple appeared in the air. Like a ghost, Shi Shenhong disappeared from his original spot. In the blink of an eye, Shi Shenhong appeared above Zhuowen. His entire body's aura was as vast as the ocean as it came crashing down. At some point in time, Shi Shenhong had taken out a long spear. This spear was not unfamiliar to Zhuan. It was called the limitless sky-piercing spear. Back then, when Shi Shenhong was chasing after him in Hongshenwu, he had used this divine spear. Die! Shi Shenhong spun his right hand, and the limitless sky-piercing spear flew out of his hand and fell from the sky. The spear spun at high speed, like a top, creating an extremely terrifying hurricane. The limitless sky-piercing spear had spatial characteristics. The moment he charged toward Zhuowen, he suddenly disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already behind Zhuowen, piercing towards his back. Zhuowen sneered, he suddenly raised his hand, and a blazing purple-gold light emerged from his body. Then, a terrifying sword chi swept out like a storm. Chapter 3978. Although the appearance of this purple gold sword embryo was somewhat shabby, the aura it emitted caused everyone present to shudder. This is a rank 5 astral weapon? What a powerful aura! Everyone was frightened by the purple gold sword embryo's terrifying aura. Some even recognized the rank of the purple gold sword embryo and couldn't help but cry out. The purple gold sword embryo suddenly swept out and then casually slashed at the limitless sky-piercing spear. Bang! The limitless sky-piercing spear suddenly trembled and actually quickly fled. It also had intelligence. Feeling the terror of the purple gold sword embryo, it didn't even have the courage to resist. Unfortunately, the purple gold sword embryo's power was too strong. Its speed was also heaven-defying. It quickly caught up to the limitless sky-piercing spear and suddenly slashed out. A terrifying sword chi swept out, and with a bang, the limitless sky-piercing spear was cut in half. What? When Shi Shenhong saw the limitless sky-piercing spear cut in half, his expression changed greatly. He was extremely shocked in his heart. Rumble! The purple gold sword embryo was like a hot knife through butter. After cutting the limitless sky-piercing spear, it turned into a purple gold light and shot towards Shi Shenhong. Shi Shenhong's expression was unsightly. He continuously retreated while taking out a large cauldron from his spirit ring. This large cauldron's aura was far stronger than the limitless sky-piercing spear. On the cauldron's body were dense special runes. Each rune emitted a faint golden light, revealing a vast and unparalleled aura. This is a rank 8 heaven-breaking divine weapon. Among the spectators, someone immediately recognized the cauldron's rank and couldn't help but exclaim. Clang! The purple gold sword embryo stood on top of the cauldron. The large cauldron only trembled and actually blocked the purple gold sword embryo's attack. Shi Shenhong let out a light breath and coldly looked at Zhuan. This cauldron is called the Motionless Golden Cup Cauldron. It is a rank 8 heaven-breaking divine weapon. It was bestowed by Hongwu Shengzhen. Today, I will use this cauldron to destroy you. Shi Shenhong knew that the power of a rank 5 astral weapon was indeed extremely impressive, but he also knew that Zhuowen's cultivation was not high and couldn't completely display the power of the purple gold sword embryo. Therefore, he was confident that he could defeat Zhuowen. With a whoosh, the purple gold sword embryo returned to Zhuowen's side. Zhuowen lightly looked at the complacent Shi. He shook his head and said, "Heaven-breaking rank 8 heaven-breaking divine weapon, how can it threaten me? Shi Shenhong, you are really stupid." As he spoke, Zhuowen opened his right hand and grabbed the sword embryo. "Today, I'll let you see the limitless skies." After he finished speaking, Zhuowen suddenly raised his right hand above his head and then fiercely chopped down at Shi Shenhong. A terrifying purple gold sword chi that spanned the heavens and the earth shot out from the purple gold sword embryo. It traversed the heavens and the earth, piercing through the past and the present, and slashed towards Shi Shenhong. Shi Shenhong's expression completely changed. He felt a strong threat of death from this purple gold sword chi. It was as if he was as weak as a blade of grass in front of this sword chi, insignificant and lowly. Shi Shenhong gritted his teeth and took out the cauldron in his hand. He desperately poured his divine power into the cauldron. He knew that he had to block this attack. Otherwise, he would die without a burial place. The cauldron erupted with a blazing golden light. It was like a sun, illuminating the earth. Boom! The terrifying sword chi finally landed on the cauldron with a loud bang. This sound was too loud, too vast. It almost spread throughout the entire Wukong state. As his voice fell, the cauldron shattered into pieces and the sword energy pierced through Shi Shenhong like a hot knife through butter. Shi Shenhong didn't even have the chance to scream. His entire body was crushed by the terrifying energy. He completely evaporated, leaving nothing behind. In an instant, the entire place fell into an eerie silence. Everyone stared blankly at the sky where Shi Shenhong was sliced into pieces by the sword qi. Behind him, the sword qi shot up 90,000 miles, broke through the sky, and slashed open an earth-shattering black hole. This scene was too shocking. It shook everyone's hearts and made them feel fear from the bottom of their hearts. So strong. How can this Dao rune be so strong? Che Xiaorui's eyes were lifeless as she mumbled to herself. She didn't even know what she was saying. She was just mumbling to herself to express her shock. Gongye Bolong and Yun Kanglin fell into silence. Fear toward Zhuan rose in their hearts. Just as Che Xiaorui said, Zhuan was too strong. So strong that it made them feel fear. What they felt was the same for everyone present. The many cultivators of the Hong Martial Divine Sect that surrounded the Hong Martial Plaza were so frightened that their legs trembled. They almost couldn't stand still. Their sect master Shi Shenhong was killed without a trace. No matter how many of them there were, how could they be a match for Zhuan? Many of them even had the thought of running away. I've said it before. I'll kill Shi Shenhong like a dog. I'm a man of my words. Zhuan said slowly. Although his voice wasn't loud, it was as loud as thunder in everyone's ears. Crash. Finally, all the cultivators of the Hong Martial Divine Sect that surrounded the plaza knelt on the ground. They couldn't hold on any longer. They were so frightened that they had lost all will to fight. They only begged Zhuan to spare their lives. Sir, please spare our lives. A cultivator said in a trembling voice. I've said it before. I'm here today to destroy the Hong Martial Divine Sect. If you don't want to die, then leave the Hong Martial Divine Sect. From now on, you're no longer a member of the Hong Martial Divine Sect. Zhuan said faintly. I'm willing to leave the Hong Martial Divine Sect. I'm also willing to leave the Hong Martial Divine Sect. All the cultivators took the initiative to renounce their status as Hong Martial Divine Sect's disciples and announce their departure. However, there were 3 people who stood in the crowd like a spear. They looked at Zhuan with hatred and no fear. Zhuan's gaze landed on the 3 of them. The 3 of them were middle-aged men with vast auras. They should be the upper echelons of the Hong Martial Divine Sect. You're not convinced? Zhuan asked casually. We're not convinced. You have a grudge with Shi Shenhong. What right do you have to destroy the Hong Martial Divine Sect? Our Hong Martial Divine Sect didn't do anything wrong. Yet you want to destroy our sect. You're inhumane. A middle-aged man said sternly. Just a grudge between me and Shi Shenhong? Hee, I'll tell you clearly now. I'm a disciple of the Hong sect. Tell me, do you think I have any grudges with your Hong Martial Divine Sect? Zhuan's voice was as loud as a bell, resounding throughout the plaza. The 3 middle-aged men's faces changed. They didn't expect Zhuan to be a survivor of the Hong sect. No wonder he threatened to destroy the Hong Martial Divine Sect. Chapter 3979. Is there anyone else who doesn't agree? Zhuan's long robes fluttered in the wind as he hovered in midair, surveying the crowd. All the cultivators who met his gaze were shocked and lowered their heads, not daring to look him in the eye. Even Yun Kanglin and Gongye Bolong, 2 early-stage God Domain transformation experts, were filled with fear and reverence toward Zhuan. Shi Shenhong was, after all, a mid-stage God Domain transformation expert and was far stronger than the 2 of them. In the Wukong province, only the strongest experts of their Scarlet Summit Temple and 8 Gods Zhan sect could contend with him. Moreover, Shi Shenhong possessed a heaven-breaking rank 8 divine artifact. Even if their Scarlet Summit Temple and 8 Gods Zhan sect joined forces, they might not be Shi Shenhong's match. However, Shi Shenhong, who was so powerful, had been slain by Zhuan while wielding a Tier 8 heaven-crushing divine tool. They knew that a large part of the reason why Zhuan could kill Shi Shenhong so easily was because of the rank 5 astral weapon, the purple gold sword embryo. They also coveted the purple gold sword embryo, but they didn't have the guts. After all, Zhuan was too strong. If they tried to snatch it, wouldn't they be courting death? Zhuan looked around, and seeing that no one dared to answer, he said leisurely, "From now on, the Wukong province no longer has the Hong martial divine sect. Within 3 days, everyone from the Hong martial divine sect must leave. Otherwise, they will be killed without mercy." As soon as these words came out, many disciples and elders of the Hong martial divine sect heaved a sigh of relief. Then, they hurriedly fled and left the Hong martial divine sect. As for the higher-ups who came to the Hong martial divine sect for this year's anniversary celebration, they didn't dare to provoke Zhuan and left one after another. "Brother Dawen, you possess such strength at such a young age. Your future is limitless. The Hong martial divine sect will belong to you in the future. You will become the new sect master of the Hong martial divine sect. I, Scarlet Summit Temple's great guardian Gongye Bolong, congratulate Brother Dawen first." Gongye Bolong didn't leave. Instead, he nodded and bowed towards Zhuan in an extremely humble manner. Yun Kanglin cursed Zhuan Gongye Bolong's cunning in her heart. She quickly stepped forward and stated that the Eight Gods Zhan sect was willing to recommend Zhuan as the new sect master of the Hong martial divine sect. Zhuan looked down at the two of them indifferently and said, "I said that the Hong martial divine sect will no longer exist in this world, and you want to elect me as the new sect master. Do you think my words are like farts?" SSSSSSSST. TSSSS. Scram. Zhuan shouted coldly. Gongye Bolong and Yun Kanglin had ugly expressions on their faces as they left the Hong martial divine sect with their tails between their legs. "It's all thanks to you that I'm able to enter the Hong martial divine sect. Let me treat you well," Zhuan Bolong suddenly said. Che Xiaorui and the others were flattered. They stayed in the Hong martial divine sect under the envious gazes of the sect's upper echelons. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that Zhuan Bolong had the strength to kill Shi Shenhong. He was probably the strongest person in the Wukong state. Even the Scarlet Summit Temple and Eight Gods Zhan sect wouldn't be able to compete with him in the future. Che Xiaorui and the others were able to climb up a branch like Zhuan Bolong. Their futures were limitless. Many of the sect's upper echelons were already considering going to the exquisite music plaza to improve their relationship. Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu hurriedly went up to greet him. They looked at Zhuan excitedly, their eyes filled with gratitude. Shi Shenhong was their archenemy. Now that Zhuan Bolong had killed Shi Shenhong, it could be said that he had avenged them. Zhuan Bolong looked at Shi Shenhong and smiled. "Sect Master, I know that you have always wanted to rebuild the Hong martial divine sect. What do you think of the Hong martial divine sect?" Hong Shenwu was stunned. He immediately understood that Zhuan Bolong wanted to give him the entire Hong martial divine sect to rebuild the Hong martial divine sect. "Dawen, good. You have the heart. After the Hong martial divine sect is rebuilt, you will be the new sect master." Hong Shenwu bowed deeply to Zhuan. Hong Shenwu knew very well that Zhuan Bolong had done him a great favor. Not only did he save his life, but he also helped him kill his archenemy. Now that he was helping him rebuild the Hong martial divine sect, the position of sect master would be none other than Zhuan. Zhuan Bolong shook his head. "Sect master, you are still the sect master of the Hong martial divine sect. I can take up a position in the Hong martial divine sect and become an elder. But you know that I won't be staying in the Hong martial divine sect for long." Zhuan Bolong looked at Hong Shenwu. He indeed wouldn't stay here for long. He planned to stabilize the Hong martial divine sect before leaving the Wukong state. He planned to go to the Liuan main region to find out how to go to the Niwa domain. Hearing this, Hong Shenwu's eyes dimmed. He didn't expect Zhuan Bolong to reject the position of sect master and not stay for long. But he also knew that this matter couldn't be forced. Zhuan Bolong had his own path and wouldn't be bound to the Hong martial divine sect. In the following period of time, Zhuan Bolong and Hong Shenwu officially changed the Hong martial divine sect to the Hong martial divine sect and announced to the entire Wukong state that the Hong martial divine sect was recruiting disciples. Originally, Zhuan Bolong thought that there wouldn't be many cultivators coming to join the Hong martial divine sect. But the result was out of his expectations. There was an endless stream of cultivators coming to join the Hong martial divine sect, including some powerful rogue cultivators. Ever since Yun Bolong killed Shi Shenhong, his name spread far and wide. Everyone in the Wukong state knew about him. Everyone knew that a powerful person had appeared in the Wukong state. He broke into the Hong martial divine sect and killed Shi Shenhong in a few moves. Many people joined the Hong martial divine sect because of Yun Bolong. Everyone was very clear that an expert even stronger than Shi Shenhong, with such an expert at the helm, the development of such a force was bound to be extremely fierce. Without a doubt, the Hong martial divine sect had a lot of room for growth and would become the #1 sect in the Wukong state in the future. Because of this, many people joined the Hong martial divine sect, including many experts who had been famous for a long time. During this period of time, Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu could be said to be extremely busy, but the two of them were also in pain and joy. They knew that with these people joining, the Hong martial divine sect would rise in a short period of time. Yun Bolong stayed in the Hong martial divine sect's treasury during this period of time. After all, the Hong martial divine sect had been around for 30,000 years. The treasury was extremely rich. Yun Bolong planned to use the resources in the treasury to break through to the God domain transformation. Once he did, he would have a higher chance of defeating Gu Yunfei when he returned to the Hong martial divine sect. As time passed, the Hong martial divine sect recruited a large number of outstanding cultivators. As the sect leader, Hong Shenwu Bolong assigned these cultivators their respective roles. The Hong martial divine sect also started to get on the right track. Chapter 3980. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had passed, and the Hong sect was growing stronger by the day. One day, the door to the treasury of the Hong sect swung open, and a young man walked out of the treasury with his back straight as a spear. The young man's gaze was like lightning, and it was hard to look at him directly. He walked out step by step, and the aura on his body was as vast as the ocean, as if it was going to destroy the entire sky. The Hong martial divine sect's treasury didn't disappoint me. It actually allowed me to break through to the God realm transformation. The young man was naturally Yun, and his eyes were filled with joy. During this period of seclusion, he had finally taken the final step and stepped into the God realm transformation. Boom boom boom. The moment Yun walked out of the treasury, a strange dark cloud gathered in the sky above the Hong sect. In the depths of the dark cloud, there were many huge black holes. Each black hole seemed to be able to cover the sky, and a terrifying aura was brewing within the black holes. What is that? The aura is so terrifying. Could it be the heavenly tribulation? This is the heaven-crushing tribulation, but this tribulation is too terrifying. Why did 9 black holes appear all of a sudden? Within the Hong sect, countless cultivators looked up at the sky, and when they saw 9 black holes appear in the sky, and each black hole was brewing terrifying energy ripples, they were all terrified. Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu also hurriedly walked out of the sect, and looked at the strange phenomenon in the sky in shock. Look, there's a figure there. Someone is walking towards the 9 black holes in the sky. Suddenly, someone cried out in surprise. Immediately, numerous gazes looked over. Sure enough, they saw a young man in the air. This young man looked ordinary, but he had an otherworldly aura about him. The young man walked in the air leisurely, step by step, and walked towards the 9 black holes in the sky. Dao Wen. He's out of seclusion, looks like he broke through. Is this his heaven-crushing tribulation? Why is it so terrifying? Luo Lingyu immediately recognized Zhuowen, and her beautiful eyes were filled with shock. Hong Shenwu also revealed a look of worry. This heaven-crushing tribulation had yet to begin, and it already possessed such might. If the tribulation really began, how terrifying would it be? He even doubted whether Zhuowen could survive this tribulation. Luo Lingyu's voice was not soft and was immediately heard by the surrounding cultivators. Only then did everyone realize that this young man was the expert who had killed Shi Shenhong. So he's Senior Dao Wen. As expected of Senior Dao Wen. Even his heaven-crushing tribulation is so extraordinary and powerful. I always thought that Senior Dao Wen was an old man. I didn't expect him to be so young. Under everyone's gaze, the 9 black holes in the sky unleashed terrifying bolts of lightning at the same time. Each bolt of lightning seemed to be able to destroy the world, and its power had reached an unprecedented level. The moment the destructive lightning struck, everyone in the Hong sect turned pale with fright. This lightning was simply too terrifying. It was as if it could destroy the world and destroy everything. Any one of the bolts of lightning could raise the Hong sect and even the surrounding mountains to the ground. However, everyone was even more shocked to discover that under this terrifying destructive lightning, Jun was like an immortal god. He floated in midair and resisted the endless lightning bolts that were crashing down. These lightning bolts were all blocked by Zhuowen's physical body. What a terrifying physical body! As expected of the expert who killed Shi Shenhong. Everyone looked at Zhuowen's back with reverence in their eyes. Boom, boom, boom. The 9 black holes in the sky unleashed waves of extremely terrifying energy. Each wave was more terrifying than the last, and each wave was more intense than the last. It was as if the entire world was going to be destroyed. However, Zhuowen was able to block all of these terrifying energies by himself. When the last wave of energy dissipated, the 9 black holes in the sky closed and the dark clouds dispersed. Bright sunlight shone from the depths of the sky. Zhuowen slowly descended from the sky. His body was covered with cracks like a spiderweb. Blood dripped from his wounds, and he looked extremely pitiful. However, the energy in his body was getting stronger and stronger. It swept across the entire Hong sect like a tidal wave. Many cultivators knelt on the ground in fear. The wounds on Zhuowen's body were healing at a rate visible to the naked eye. Zhuowen's eyes lit up with excitement. He had finally broken through to the divine realm. His strength had increased by more than 100 times. It was extremely terrifying. Moreover, Zhuowen also realized that his divine realm was extremely strange. It was much more powerful than the average divine realm. With that thought in mind, a purple divine realm appeared in a radius of a few thousand meters around Zhuowen. In the middle of the purple divine realm, a gigantic star rose up. This star was extremely strange. Within the star, there were many powerful figures. And the moment this purple star rose, the surrounding ground cracked and split apart, forming an abyss that grew deeper and deeper. Zhuowen's eyes narrowed as he immediately withdrew his divine realm. That star in the divine realm, could it be the immemorial star system? Zhuowen couldn't help but look up at the sky. There hung a gigantic star that hadn't changed since ancient times. It was the immemorial star system. Zhuowen had never imagined that the divine domain he condensed would actually be an immemorial star. It was no wonder that his divine domain was so much stronger than an ordinary divine domain. The cultivators of the Hong sect were all frightened by Zhuowen's divine domain and retreated far away. Especially when they saw the huge abyss that appeared in the ground, they were even more shocked. They looked at Zhuowen with even more respect and fear. Dawen, congratulations on successfully coming out of seclusion and breaking through. Hong Shenwu walked over with Luo Lingyu with a carefree smile. The stronger Zhuowen was, the happier he was. Zhuowen couldn't help but smile when he saw Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu walking over. At the same time, he used his divine sense to check the surrounding cultivators of the Hong sect. Sect Master, it seems like you've recruited a lot of talents during this period of time, Zhuowen said with a smile. Hong Shenwu chuckled. Isn't this all thanks to you? If it weren't for you, not many people would be willing to join the Hong sect. Next, Hong Shenwu, Luo Lingyu, and Zhuowen walked side by side, strolling around the Hong sect. At the same time, Hong Shenwu also told Zhuowen about the various major events that had happened in the Hong sect during this period of time. Sect Master, when do you plan to follow me to Hongwu Shengzhen? Zhuowen looked at Hong Shenwu and asked. Hong Shenwu looked hesitant. Luo Lingyu, on the other hand, was a little worried. Junior brother Dawen, although your cultivation has broken through to the divine domain transformation stage and your strength has increased greatly, Gu Yunfei is an expert in the early stage of the demonic transformation stage. He's too strong. Even if it's you, I'm afraid. Luo Lingyu had heard about the agreement between Zhuowen and Gu Yunfei from Hong Shenwu. When she heard that Gu Yunfei was one of the 10 elders of Hongwu Shengzhen, she was even more worried about Zhuowen. Chapter 3981. Half a month later, Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu followed Zhuowen to Hong Wushengzhen. Hong Shenwu handed over all the affairs of the Hong sect to an old man who had just joined the Hong sect. He was at the early stage of the deity realm transformation stage. This old man was called Hong Luo. He had been defeated by Shi Shenhong of the Hong Wu divine sect and had a deep grudge against Shi Shenhong. After Zhuowen had killed Shi Shenhong, Hong Luo had joined the Hong sect immediately and worshipped Zhuowen fervently. In this half a month, Zhuowen had set up a heaven-breaking level 7 protective array in the Hong sect. This level of array could be said to be the most powerful array in the Wukong state. At the very least, no one in the Wukong state could break this array. Hong Luo sent Zhuowen and the others to the Central Continent Divine Hall. His fervent gaze was always on Zhuowen, and he was extremely respectful. Zhuowen felt a headache coming on. Hong Luo's worship of him had reached a crazy level. This made Zhuowen speechless. After a few days of hurrying, the three of them finally arrived at Hong Wushengzhen. After returning to Hong Wushengzhen, Zhuowen was not in a hurry to enter Hong Wushengzhen. Instead, he entered the Great Word Incantation Forest outside Hong Wushengzhen. After passing through the Great Word Incantation Forest, Zhuowen arrived at the valley where Shan Lingyun was. To Zhuowen's surprise, he did not see Shan Lingyun in the valley. Did Master go out? Zhuowen muttered softly. He did not think too much about it. After waiting in the valley for a day and seeing that Shan Lingyun had not returned, he brought Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu into Hong Wushengzhen. When Zhuowen stepped through the gate of Hong Wushengzhen, Zhuowen realized that many of the cultivators in the sect were looking at him strangely. They looked at him as though he was a freak. As for the cultivator guarding the gate, he was sending out a message. It seemed like he was notifying someone. That Daowen really came? He has guts, daring to challenge Elder Gu Yunfei, and even daring to come here. This kid is also stupid. Who does he think he is? He actually wants to challenge Elder Gu Yunfei. That's one of the 10 palace elders. How heaven-defying is his strength? Many disciples in the sect were in an uproar. They spread the news from 1 person to 10, and from 10 to 100. Almost all the disciples in the sect knew that Zhuowen had returned. During this period of time, Zhuowen was a big celebrity in Hong Wushengzhen. Rumors of him challenging Gu Yunfei and threatening to kill him to avenge the Hong sect had spread like wildfire. Many disciples felt that Zhuowen was crazy. Back then, he was only an outer sect disciple. He actually dared to challenge a big shot like Gu Yunfei. Wasn't this courting death? Of course, more people thought that Zhuowen was just bluffing. They didn't think that Zhuowen would dare to come to Hong Wushengzhen again. Doing so was no different from courting death. But now, everyone was surprised that Zhuowen really came and stepped into Hong Wushengzhen openly. On the outer sect peak, Ziling also heard the news and quickly called out to Li Xinbing. "Junior sister Ziling, what's wrong?" Li Xinbing opened the door and saw that Ziling was at a loss. She quickly asked, "Senior sister Li, something bad has happened. Senior brother Daowen has returned to Hong Wushengzhen." Ziling said anxiously. Li Xinbing's pupils shrank to the size of needles, and her face changed drastically. "Why is he back? Let's go, we have to stop him. We can't let him enter Hongwu Square, or it'll be too late." With that, Li Xinbing pulled Ziling and hurriedly left the outer sect peak. In the depths of Hong Wushengzhen, Gu Yunfei was sitting cross-legged in his study in the Divine Goose Hall. The aura in his body was like a dragon, and it exploded with an extremely ear-piercing sound. Suddenly, Gu Yunfei opened his eyes and took out his communication jade. After reading the news on it, a sinister smile appeared on his face. "Daowen? This guy really dares to come. Fine, this kind of ant is too presumptuous. I'll kill him today. And that Hong Shenwu, I won't let him go." With that, Gu Yunfei took a step and disappeared from the Divine Goose Hall. Zhuowen's arrival did not only alarm Gu Yunfei, but also the rest of the elders. Most of them walked out of their respective halls. In the Dragon Elephant Hall, Pei Shanglong looked at the communication jade in his hand and shook his head gently. He muttered to himself, "Why bother with this Daowen? He's really young and impetuous. He's digging his own grave." In Pei Shanglong's eyes, Zhuowen's future was still very bright, but he had done extremely stupid things time and time again. Now, Pei Shanglong had already determined that Jun was a brainless guy. At this moment, the main character, Jun, was walking slowly in Hongwu Shengzhen. Many disciples of Hongwu Shengzhen followed behind Jun. They were all looking at Jun with a mocking look. "Senior brother Dao Wen." Suddenly, a clear voice called out from behind. Then, two beautiful female disciples walked out of the crowd and came to Jun, ignoring the strange looks of the other disciples. "Junior sister Ziling, junior sister Li." Zhuowen looked at the two women in front of him and said with a smile, "Senior brother Daowen, you must not go to Hongwu Square. Elder Gu is one of the elders of the 10 halls. He's not someone you can fight against. You should run." Li Xinbing said. Ziling also looked at Zhuowen nervously. Although Zhuowen's strength was indeed strong, so what? The gap between Zhuowen and Gu Yunfei was too big. They did not think that Zhuowen would be a match for Gu Yunfei. Zhuowen was stunned. He then shook his head and said, "Thank you for your concern. This time, I came to Hongwu Shengzhen to kill Gu Yunfei. Don't worry, Gu Yunfei is not as strong as you think. It won't be difficult for me to kill him." Ziling and Li Xinbing looked at each other and sighed in their hearts. They thought that Jun was a little overconfident. What an arrogant kid. Who do you think you are? How dare you say that it won't be difficult for you to kill Elder Gu? I think he's crazy. How can he say such nonsense? When Elder Gu comes later, I think he'll kneel down and beg for mercy. Many of the disciples around them were agitated. They thought that Jun was too arrogant to say such words. He was looking down on Gu Yunfei and Hongwu Shengzhen. Zhuowen glanced indifferently at the crowd of excited disciples and shook his head. He didn't make a fuss about it and continued forward towards the Hongwu Square. He knew very well that words were not proof. Only when he killed Gu Yunfei in front of everyone would these people believe him. Therefore, he did not bother to explain anything. It seems that he's scared. He doesn't even want to talk. Later, I'd like to see how he looks when he kneels down and begs for mercy. We'll definitely see it. When that time comes, we'll be able to see how ugly he is. Let's wait for Elder Gu to show his power and blast this kid into pieces. Chapter 3982. At this moment, there were even more people surrounding the Hongwu Square. It was bustling with activity, and there was an endless stream of people surrounding the Hongwu Square. When Zhuan arrived, everyone inside and outside the Hongwu Square fell into silence. Their gazes fell on Zhuowen, as if they were bright lamps shining on Zhuan. Facing so many gazes, Luo Lingyu and Hong Shenwu felt a chill in their hearts. However, Zhuan remained calm and didn't seem to mind at all. Zhuan raised his head and saw the door of the Hongwu Hall slowly open, as a magnificent figure walked out from it. With a casual step, he appeared above the center of the square as if he had teleported. It was as if he had descended from the heavens. "It's the sect master. I didn't expect the sect master to come out. Isn't this making a mountain out of a molehill? With Elder Gu's strength, he can kill this ant with just a flick of his finger. Why does he need the sect master to come out personally?" The square was in an uproar. Many disciples felt that Gui Jing was making a big fuss out of nothing. "Daowen, you still came in the end." Gui Jing looked at Zhuowen with a complicated gaze. Her faint voice slowly sounded around the square. Zhuowen looked at Gui Jing. He did not know if it was an illusion, but he actually saw a trace of shame in Gui Jing's eyes. "Zhen, I will protect you in this battle. I won't let you lose your life." Gui Jing's voice suddenly sounded in Zhuowen's mind. Zhuowen was stunned. He looked at Gui Jing. He did not expect that Gui Jing would save his life. However, he didn't say much. With his strength, he didn't need Gui Jing to save his life. What he was puzzled about was why Gui Jing looked ashamed when she saw him. This puzzled Zhuowen. At the same time, he had a bad premonition. Whoosh, whoosh. All of a sudden, the sound of something breaking through the air resounded from all directions of the square. Silhouettes with powerful auras appeared in the sky above the square. Everyone looked over and discovered that these figures were actually all members of the elders of the 10 halls. For example, Dragon Elephant Hall's Pei Shanglong, Punisher Hall's Sha Wuji, and so on. Furthermore, they were shocked to discover that all the elders of the 10 halls had come, and Gu Yunfei was among them. Gu Yunfei was dressed in a green robe. After he respectfully bowed to Gui Jing, he floated above the square and looked down at Zhuan as if he was looking at an ant. Dawen, I admire your courage. You actually dare to challenge this elder's dignity. You must be tired of living. Gu Yunfei said with a cold gaze. Zhuan, on the other hand, was fearless and said indifferently, I'm not complaining that my life is too long, but that yours is too long. Hearing this, Gu Yunfei's face immediately darkened, and the killing intent in the depths of his eyes was as strong as lightning. Sect leader, since this lad has challenged me, can we start now? Gu Yunfei looked at Gui Jing and asked. Gui Jing nodded and said, Elder Gu, you and Dawen are both pillars of Hongwu Shengzhen. Let's have a friendly duel. Don't force it to the death. Gu Yunfei was stunned, and his face immediately darkened. How could he not understand Gui Jing's meaning? She was implying that he should show mercy. After all, with his celestial demon transformation cultivation, it would be easy for him to crush Zhuan. The other elders of the 10 halls frowned. They also felt that Gui Jing was a little too partial to Zhuan. Sect leader, you also said that this lad had threatened to kill Elder Gu. Obviously, this lad wants to have a life and death duel. How is this a friendly duel? Moreover, who does he think he is? He's just an outer disciple. Since he has offended Elder Gu, he naturally deserves to die. Sha Wuji was the first to speak. Gu Yunfei also said, Sect leader, this lad has offended me many times. Now that he has provoked me, as an elder of the Divine Goose Hall, I can't be a coward and embarrass Hongwu Shengzhen. Gui Jing frowned. Just as she was about to speak, Duan spoke. Sect leader, I request to have a life and death duel with Gu Yunfei. The winner shall live, and the loser shall die. Zhuan spoke slowly. His voice was not loud, but it resounded in everyone's ears like thunder. Instantly, the crowd was in an uproar. Everyone looked at Zhuan in disbelief and thought that this lad was crazy. The sect leader was obviously partial to him. Not only did he not take advantage of it, but he even refuted the sect leader. He was simply stupid. Gui Jing frowned and looked at Zhuan seriously. She said, Dawen, are you sure you want to have a life and death duel? I'm sure. I hope the sect leader can agree. Also, don't forget your promise. If I kill Gu Yunfei, Hongwu Shengzhen will not pursue the matter. Zhuan said calmly. Gu Yunfei sneered and said, You still want to kill me? How laughable. Let me ask you, who do you think you are? The other elders shook their heads secretly. They felt that Zhuan was a little too arrogant, so much so that he was a little idiotic. Sect leader, agree to the life and death duel. This lad is really too arrogant. He has already started to provoke the dignity of Hongwu Shengzhen. We can't let him live. That's right. This lad has already stepped on our heads. How can we tolerate this? We must have a life and death duel. Let Elder Gu teach him how to behave properly. The other elders all spoke out, wanting Gui Jing to agree to the life and death duel. Gui Jing sighed softly and looked deeply at Zhuan. She said, Dawen, this is the path you chose. Don't blame me for not reminding you. I agree to the life and death duel. As soon as she said that, all the cultivators in the square cheered. They all thought that Zhuan was dead for sure, and no one could protect him. In the crowd, Luo Lingyu's beautiful eyes were filled with worry. She said to Hong Shenwu beside her, Sect leader, what do you think junior brother Dawen's chances of winning are? Hong Shenwu was silent for a moment and sighed softly. Now that things have come to this, we can only choose to believe in Dawen. Gu Yunfei slowly walked down from the sky. Step by step, he finally landed on the ground in the center of the square. Dawen, get over here and die. Gu Yunfei's voice was like thunder. It resounded around the square and rumbled in everyone's ears. It was extremely majestic. Zhuan sneered and strode towards Gu Yunfei. Step by step, the aura on his body became more and more vast. It was as if some terrifying beast was gradually awakening in his body. I didn't expect him to have already broken through to the God domain transformation. His talent is indeed extraordinary. His cultivation is actually so fast. Gui Jing was shocked when she felt the aura on Zhuan's body. When she first met Zhuan, The latter was only at the mid-stage of the yin-yang change. How long had it been since then? He had already reached the early stage of the God domain transformation. This cultivation speed was far inferior to her. The 9 of you, help me set up a barrier. Gui Jing instructed the other 9 elders of the 10 halls. With a wave of his sleeve, an invisible barrier began to form around the Hongwu Plaza. Chapter 3983. In an instant, an extremely thick barrier was formed around the Hongwu Square. Outside the spirit array, there were many disciples and elders of the Hong martial sacred sect. They were all looking forward to the scene inside the spirit array excitedly. They were all waiting for Gu Yunfei to kill Zhuowen. In the crowd, Ziling and Li Xinbing's faces were pale. They looked helpless. They did not expect things to turn out this way. This was the worst outcome they could think of. Sigh. Senior brother Daowen is too stubborn. Why is he so stubborn? Li Xinbing sighed. Senior sister Li, this is senior brother Daowen's choice. The 2 of us can't change it. I only hope that Elder Gu can show mercy. Ziling murmured. At this moment, Zhuan came out from the square with a calm expression. Gu Yunfei grinned cruelly and said impudently, "Little bastard, you brought all of this upon yourself. You're dead, and you're going to die a horrible death." Zhuan looked at Gu Yunfei indifferently and sneered, "That's a good way to describe you. You're going to die a horrible death." Gu Yunfei's expression immediately turned ugly. He laughed sinisterly and said, "Arrogant and conceited brat, I won't waste my breath on you. You'd better die." After saying that, Gu Yunfei spread his wings like an eagle and leaped into the air. A terrifying aura burst out from his body. Suddenly, the entire Hongwu Square was shrouded by a powerful and vast aura. Yuowen, on the other hand, was not affected at all. A purple divine domain spread out in all directions with him as the center. The purple divine realm was blurry. It was shrouded in a purple mist. It was impossible to see what was inside the divine realm. When Gu Yunfei saw Zhuan hiding in the purple divine realm, his eyes were filled with disdain. "I'll let you have a taste of the true power of the celestial demon change." As he said that, golden light surged out of Gu Yunfei's body. The golden light was like an ocean, gathering in the space behind him and forming a huge golden figure that seemed to connect the heavens and the earth. Upon closer inspection, the original form of the golden figure was a huge celestial demon with an eagle head and a human body. Gu Yunfei leaped up and landed on the eagle-headed man's shoulder. He looked down coldly at the purple god domain below and said, "Shuojin, crush this god domain for me. Trample on this kid's body, crush him, and destroy his soul." After receiving Gu Yunfei's instructions, the eagle-headed fiend god called Shuojin let out a clear and cold cry. Afterwards, he suddenly raised his huge foot and viciously stomped down on the purple domain below. Rumble! This fiend god was simply too powerful. When his right foot stomped down, a terrifying explosion rang out in the air. Space exploded and time stopped. Is this the power of the celestial demon change? It's so strong. Especially the celestial demon that Elder Gu summoned. It's too terrifying. I'm like an ant in front of it. After all, Elder Gu is one of the 10 hall elders. How can you possibly imagine how powerful he is? This Daowen will be crushed into a meat patty. No, he'll be crushed into powder and disappear from this world. When the celestial demon with an eagle head and a human body appeared, most of the disciples were shocked. Their eyes were filled with fear and respect. Most of them had never seen a battle of the celestial demon change. Today they were deeply shocked. You don't know what's good for you. Now you know the power of the celestial demon change. But it's too late. Outside the barrier, among the 10 people who were maintaining the barrier, Infinite Kill sneered and thought disdainfully in his heart. Although Gui Jing's expression was calm, there was a trace of a sigh in his eyes. He had wanted to save Zhuowen's life. Unfortunately, Zhuowen was too stubborn. He insisted on fighting Gu Yunfei to the death. Now he knew the severity of the consequences. "Lingyun, I've tried my best. Although I promised you that I would take good care of Zhuowen, he acted on his own accord. Now even I can't save him. Gui Jing recalled what Shan Lingyun had told him before she left and couldn't help but feel ashamed. Boom. Suddenly, just when everyone thought that the battle was over, an earth-shattering explosion sounded from within the barrier. Then, under everyone's incredulous gazes, the powerful celestial demon with an eagle head and a human body actually screamed and retreated. Everyone looked over and instantly sucked in a breath of cold air. This was because they realized that the right leg of the celestial demon had been blasted into a bloody mess. Golden blood flowed like a stream, splattering on the ground and forming a golden pool. How is this possible? Gu Yunfei, who was on the shoulder of the celestial demon with an eagle head and a human body, looked ahead and saw a purple star slowly rising from Zhuowen's purple realm of gods. Within the star, there were figures with extremely terrifying auras flickering. However, it was impossible to see the exact appearance and posture of these figures. Everyone present also looked at the star and revealed a shocked expression. This was because they weren't unfamiliar with this star. It could even be said that they were extremely familiar with it. It was the immemorial star. No one had expected that there would actually be an immemorial star in Zhuowen's realm of gods. Although this wasn't a real immemorial star, but a virtual image formed by copying the immemorial star, this virtual image was too real. Even the smallest details on the surface of this star were almost exactly the same. What was more shocking was that the power of the virtual image of the immemorial star was too terrifying. It actually injured the celestial demon with an eagle head and a human body so easily. Dang dang dang. Crisp footsteps sounded and Jun slowly walked out from the center of the realm of gods. The virtual image of the immemorial star was like a child as it revolved around his body. Gu Yunfei, this is the power of the celestial demon transformation that you were talking about? How laughable! Jun shook his head and said sarcastically. Gu Yunfei was furious. He stared at Zhuowen and the killing intent in his eyes reached its peak. He absolutely could not allow this brat to live. Judging from this brat's extraordinary deity domain, Gu Yunfei could tell that this brat's future would be terrifying. Once he reached the fiend god transformation stage, killing him would be as easy as flipping his hand. Die! Gu Yunfei didn't hold back and merged with the celestial demon with an eagle head and a human body. Gu Yunfei was like a core that provided energy. After he merged with the celestial demon, the aura of the celestial demon increased by several times. His mangled right leg also quickly healed. Mu Feng, you have angered me. The consequences will be extremely severe. Gu Yunfei's voice came from the celestial demon's mouth. Then, the celestial demon strode towards Jun. Its right palm was like a mountain as it slammed towards Jun. Chapter 3984. You won't be able to escape. Gu Yunfei's voice was like thunder, reverberating in everyone's ears. It was extremely terrifying. The god fiend blasted out another palm toward Zhuowen. Zhuowen snorted coldly and charged forward. The divine domain around him reached its limit and a massive primordial star rose from the center of his divine domain. Boom! In an instant, the mountain-like palm collided violently with the immemorial star. Instantly, terrifying energy ripples spread out in all directions and exploded. Dang dang dang. The mountain-like god fiend let out a groan and couldn't help but retreat. Every step he took caused an unprecedented earthquake in the square and left behind terrifying footprints on the ground. As for Zhuowen, who was under the deity domain, he was sent flying and heavily crashed into the boundary. A terrifying explosion rang out, as if countless bombs had exploded. However, to everyone's astonishment, the mysterious purple divine domain that surrounded Zhuowen was like a thick armor. It did not show any signs of shattering. Instead, it protected Zhuowen within it, preventing him from suffering any injuries. Zhuowen stood up and the primordial star's projection hung above his head. Purple light shone brightly and the entire Hangwu Shangzhen was shrouded in this mysterious purple light. Ha! Awesome! Gu Yunfei, is this all you've got? You're really weak, too weak. Zhuowen laughed heartily and shot towards Gu Yunfei. After advancing to the divine domain transformation stage, Zhuowen had never used his full strength in a real battle. He wasn't clear about the extent of his strength. But now, he knew that his strength was comparable to Gu Yunfei in the early Fiend God transformation stage. This surprised and delighted Zhuan. The primordial Grand Mist technique was too miraculous. It allowed him to reach such a godlike level. This was probably the strongest technique in the entire 100 domains. Zhuo, who had nothing to worry about, went all out in battle. He rushed to the front of the God Fiend, and purple gas condensed in his hand. It extended to the primordial star and turned into chains that locked the primordial star's phantom. Zhuo fiercely swung the ancient star phantom, which was like an indomitable weapon, towards the fiend god in front of him. Gu Yunfei's face was gloomy as his right hand slammed into the primordial star's projection. Instantly, terrifying energy exploded and the god fiend couldn't help but be pushed back. Although Zhuan was pushed back, he was like a cockroach that couldn't be killed and launched another fierce attack. His attacks were endless. Everyone in the Hangwu Square was dumbfounded. They couldn't believe their eyes when they saw Zhuo Wen's invincible might, especially when they saw Gu Yunfei's demon god being ruthlessly suppressed. So strong. This is senior brother Dao Wen's strength. Looks like our worries were unnecessary. In the crowd, Ziling and Li Xinbing looked at each other in surprise. They knew that not only was Zhuo Wen's life not in danger, but he also had a high chance of defeating Gu Yunfei. We still underestimated Zhuo Wen. His divine realm is not an ordinary divine realm. For my Hong sect to have such a genius, it is my Hong sect's great fortune. Hong Shenwu laughed loudly, his eyes filled with joy. The 9 elders of the 10 halls who were maintaining the barrier were also completely stunned. Their hearts were filled with shock and horror. Is this guy really an outer disciple of our Hong Wushengzhen? How can there be such a powerful outer disciple? One of the elders blurted out. Sha Wuji's face darkened, but he couldn't calm down. His strength was on par with Gu Yunfei. Now that Gu Yunfei couldn't take down this kid even after using all his strength, he couldn't do it either. But Sha Wuji still couldn't believe it. A few months ago, Hun was still being chased by him. Now that he had returned, he had become so terrifying. This guy was going against the heavens. Even the calmest Gui Jing's eyes flickered. He was indescribably shocked in his heart. Zhuo Wen's strength had greatly exceeded his expectations. Dao Wen, I want you to die. Die without a burial place. Gu Yunfei was furious. The eagle-headed divine demon suddenly formed a seal with both hands. A pair of golden wings grew out of the divine demon's back. At the same time, a long golden blade appeared in the divine demon's hands. It's the second form of the divine demon. Has Elder Gu reached the middle stage of the divine demon transformation? The 10 elders' eyes lit up. They were all experts of the Fiend God transformation realm, and they knew that the Fiend God transformation realm had several forms. The higher one's cultivation, the more forms one could take. For example, in the early stage of the divine demon transformation, a divine demon could only have one form. In the middle stage, there were 2 forms. In this way, a divine demon at the peak of the divine demon transformation could have 4 forms. It was precisely because of this change that the difference in strength between cultivators of the Fiend God transformation stage was like the difference between the heavens and the earth. Elder Gu hasn't successfully advanced. He should be half a step into the middle stage of the divine demon transformation. His second form is incomplete. Gui Jing suddenly said. Hearing this, everyone noticed that the left half of the golden wings on the back of the eagle-headed man was dim, as if it was transparent. If it was the complete form, the left wing wouldn't be so dim. But even so, it was still much stronger than an early-stage divine demon transformation. Boom boom boom. The eagle-headed man's divine demon aura had reached a terrifying level. As it strode forward, its terrifying aura formed a terrifying storm. Many of the onlookers were shocked. The second form of the eagle-headed man's divine demon was too terrifying. It was like a mountain pressing down on everyone's hearts. This should be Elder Gu's ultimate move. It's so powerful that the Dao rune can't block it. Many people thought to themselves. Zhuan stood silently at the edge of the barrier. He slowly raised his head and looked at the approaching divine demon. His eyes were as calm as an ancient well. Bang! The eagle-headed man's statue stepped in front of Jun. It raised its long golden blade and viciously chopped down on Zhuowen's head. Blazing golden light filled the sky. It was a terrifying sight. Zhuowen sneered. His right hand swung the ancient star shadow and smashed it against the golden blade. Bang! The ancient star shadow was instantly suppressed by the golden blade. The purple light was fiercely suppressed by the golden light. It was about to collapse at any time. Ha! An ant will always be an ant. You're dead, Dao Run. Gu Yunfei laughed heartily. He knew that Zhuo Wen's death would be the moment the primordial star palace's silhouette was destroyed. Gu Yunfei, you're really pathetic. You didn't see through the situation at all. You deserve to die. Chapter 3985. This purple light was really too fast as lightning. When the purple light completely pierced through Gu Yunfei's body, the spectators finally saw the true appearance of this purple light, a purple sword embryo. This purple sword embryo was really too unremarkable. Its surface was full of holes, and it didn't even have a sharp edge. From afar, it looked more like a thick staff with a sword hilt. However, the aura exuded from the surface of the purple sword embryo made the spectators' hearts palpitate. It was as if there was a formless sword chi piercing through their eyes and into the depths of their souls, cold and terrifying. In the Hangwu Plaza, the gigantic eagle-headed god-fiend knelt on the ground and then heavily crashed onto the ground. Its whole body trembled, and the golden light on its body gradually dissipated. Meanwhile, Gu Yunfei, who had fused with the god-fiend, had a huge bloody hole in his chest. Blood flowed freely, and a large pool of blood gathered on the ground. However, after the god-fiend completely dissipated, Gu Yunfei knelt on the ground in a sorry state. He clutched his chest, and his face was terrifyingly pale. That was just a feint, and this was your final killing move? Gu Yunfei stared fixedly at Jun, his eyes filled with unwillingness and anger. Jun slowly walked in front of Gu Yunfei. The purple sword embryo circled around him like a child, and a hazy purple light dyed the whole Hangwu Plaza. Gu Yunfei, I said, you are too pathetic. You didn't recognize the situation at all, so you lost. Zhuan looked down at Gu Yunfei, and with a grab of his right hand, he grabbed Gu Yunfei's neck and lifted him up. Gu Yunfei kept struggling, and his face became extremely red. That was because he was suffocating. At the same time, he felt very humiliated. His heart had been destroyed, and more than half of the energy in his body had dissipated. Moreover, he couldn't form a cycle, and his current power was not even comparable to the heaven-crushing fifth transformation, so how could he resist Zhuon? There was an uproar all around the plaza, and everyone looked at this scene in disbelief. In everyone's eyes, this battle should have been a one-sided battle, but now they saw a one-sided battle. However, it wasn't Gu Yunfei who was crushing Zhuowen, but Zhuon who was crushing Gu Yunfei instead. What's going on with this Dao pattern? Was he really a god's domain metamorphosis? How can there be such a terrifying god domain change expert in this world? He's definitely hiding his cultivation level. No matter how heaven-defying a deity realm transformation is, how could he possibly defeat a fiend god transformation cultivator? This is simply impossible. Everyone in the square was discussing animatedly. They were all shocked beyond belief. They all felt that Zhuan was too powerful. Zi Ling and Li Xinbing clenched their fists so tightly that they felt like their knuckles were going to crack. Dawen, what are you trying to do? Gu Yunfei is one of the 10 elders of Hangwu Shengzhen. How dare you? Let him go. Gui Jing and the 9 elders, who were maintaining the barrier, were also shocked by this scene. Among them, Limitless Slaughter reacted and loudly berated Zhuan. Zhuan turned a deaf ear. He didn't even look at Limitless Slaughter. Instead, he carried Gu Yunfei and went straight to Hong Shenwu's side of the barrier. Gu Yunfei, open your dog eyes and see who this is. Zhuan pressed Gu Yunfei to the edge of the barrier and said coldly. Gu Yunfei naturally saw Hong Shenwu. His gaze turned cold as he roared angrily, Dawen, what are you trying to do? If you want to kill me, do as you please. However, Zhuan simply ignored Gu Yunfei. Instead, he looked at Hong Shenwu and asked in a deep voice, Sect Master, should we destroy this trash? Hong Shenwu's eyes were filled with hatred. Gu Yunfei. Back then, you brought an army to our Hong sect. Without any reason, you wanted to steal the Heaven and Earth Howren Sutra. Although the Heaven and Earth Howren Sutra is precious, but as a branch sect, it's fine for us to give it to the main sect. The main sect will also give us treasures as compensation. But you were greedy and didn't want the other factions to know about it. You wanted to wipe out the entire Hong sect. You are such a selfish person. You bastard, you deserve to die. Gu Yunfei laughed loudly. My Hong Wushengzhen has so many branch sections. So what if I destroy a few? To me, Hong Wushengzhen, you're all ants. If I want to kill you, I can kill you. Gui Jing, who was maintaining the barrier, had a gloomy expression. He coldly shouted, Elder Gu, what are you talking about? When the Hong sect was destroyed, you clearly reported that the Hong sect resisted and refused to hand over the Heaven and Earth Howren Sutra. They even insulted Hong Wushengzhen, so the sect decided to send troops to the Hong sect. Gu Yunfei said disapprovingly, Sect leader, the branch sects are ants. They serve the Shengzhen. If they are destroyed, then so be it. The Shengzhen can naturally cultivate new branch sects. Now, this kid dares to insult me, which is the same as insulting the Shengzhen. Sect leader, give the order to capture this kid. I will slowly torture him until he dies. And I suspect that he has also practiced the Heaven and Earth Howren Sutra, so we can't let him go. Limitless Slaughter quietly entered the enchantment. The baleful chi on his body was retracted and blended into the space, as if he was transparent. When Limitless Slaughter got close to Zhuowen, he immediately bared his fangs, and a terrifying baleful aura exploded out. Limitless Slaughter raised his blood-red sword and stabbed it toward Zhuowen's back. Die Yuan. Sha Wuji sneered with a smug expression on his face. Daowen, be careful. Gui Jing quickly sent a message. Zhuowen's lips curled into a cold smile. A purple god domain suddenly burst out from his body. The immemorial star's shadow seemed to be ready to attack at any time as it suddenly smashed towards eternal slaughter. Bang! Sha Wuji's expression changed slightly. The blood sword suddenly changed and blocked in front of the immemorial star. Then he was hit by a huge force and snorted as he retreated. At this moment, the purple sword radiance was like a maggot in a tarsal bone. In an instant, it swept over and pierced through Sha Wuji's glabella before he could react. No! Sha Wuji roared into the sky. Unfortunately, it was all to no avail. His soul was completely shattered by the purple gold sword embryo, and his head exploded. Plop! When Sha Wuji's body fell to the ground, the dull sound of his body falling to the ground rang in everyone's ears. It was extremely loud and ear-piercing. Sha Wuji, the elder of the Punishment Hall, one of the 10 hall elders, and one of the top powerhouses in Hongwu Shengzhen, had died just like that. Those who want to kill me had better think about their own strength. Otherwise, my means of revenge are extremely fierce. Don't blame me for not warning you. Zhuowen's voice sounded faintly and broke the silence. Gu Yunfei, who was being held in Zhuowen's hand, was dumbfounded. For the first time, he felt a bone-chilling fear. The young man in front of him was really bold. He had killed Sha Wuji so decisively. What about him? Was there a need to say more about his fate? Daowen, this is a misunderstanding. If you let me go, Hongwu Shengzhen will not do anything to you and will send you out safely. If you kill me, you will not be able to walk out of Hongwu Shengzhen. Gu Yunfei half pleaded and half threatened. He had realized that Zhuan would really kill him. Oh, I have already made an agreement with the sect leader. If I kill you, Hongwu Shengzhen will not pursue the matter. You can go in peace. Zhuowen sneered. His right hand formed a sword and pointed at Gu Yunfei's glabella. Puff! Chapter 3986. Gui Jing pulled back his sleeve, and the barrier was immediately put away. He then fell from midair, and his expression was not very good. Zhuowen's battle prowess had exceeded his expectations. He had actually managed to kill Gu Yunfei. Of course, just as Zhuowen had said, he had an agreement with Zhuowen. If Gu Yunfei had really been killed by him, Hongwu Shengzhen would not pursue the matter. He would not deny this. However, he was unhappy that Zhuan had not only killed Gu Yunfei, he had also killed Limitless Sword Saint. Within a day, he had lost 2 elders of the 10 halls. This loss was too great for him. The other 8 elders of the 10 halls were also gloomy as they landed on the Hongwu Square. They were naturally not in a good mood. After all, they were all elders of the 10 halls. It was inevitable that they would grieve for the loss of their fellow elders. However, they did not dare to confront or provoke Zhuan. They did not see how easily Limitless Sword Saint had been killed. Without a doubt, the only person in Hongwu Shengzhen who could suppress Zhuan was the sect leader, Gui Jing. Dawen, this is different from what you said. Why did you kill Limitless Sword Saint? Gui Jing walked up to Zhuan and questioned him angrily. Zhuan looked at Gui Jing indifferently and said, "Sect Master, you saw it too. This Sha Wuji wanted to kill me, and he even dared to make a move to kill me. Do you think I need to let him live? Is the sect master going to denounce me for this?" Gui Jing looked deeply at Zhuan and finally sighed dejectedly. "It was indeed wrong to kill Wuji, but it's not your fault." Gui Jing felt helpless. Based on the strength that Zhuan had just displayed, Gui Jing felt that Zhuan was at least in the middle stage of the demonic transformation realm. They were not far apart. Although Gui Jing had a powerful trump card, it was hard to say that Zhuan did not have one. Therefore, Gui Jing felt that even if he were to attack, he would not be able to defeat Zhuan. It was because of this that Gui Jing calmed down and did not intend to pursue Limitless Sword Saint's death. After all, Limitless Sword Saint had brought this upon himself. If Limitless Sword Saint had not attacked Zhuan, Zhuan might not have targeted him. Gui Jing also cherished Zhuan's talent. Zhuan was young, but his talent was extremely terrifying. He was naturally tempted by such a talent and wanted to recruit Zhuan. "Dawen, with such powerful strength, why don't you join Hongwu Shengzhen's side?" Gui Jing looked expectantly. Gui Jing looked expectantly at Zhuan. "Shengzhen. Resources. Shengs." Pei Shanglong and the other 8 elders of the 10 halls were shocked. They did not expect Gui Jing to value Zhuan so much that she wanted him to be the vice sect leader. Ever since Hongwu Shengzhen was established, it had never appointed a vice sect leader. If Gui Jing insisted, it would be like opening a new river. Moreover, if Tun became the vice sect leader, he would directly suppress the elders. Naturally, they were unwilling. But they did not dare to refute Gui Jing. After all, they were Gui Jing's subordinates. It was not their place to make irresponsible remarks. Zhuan's eyes flashed, but he shook his head and said, "Sect leader, I'm used to freedom. I don't like being restricted by the sect. Moreover, I'm a disciple of the Hong sect. If I join Hongwu Shengzhen now, I'm afraid it's not appropriate." When Hong Shenwu was captured by Gu Yunfei, the Hong sect only existed in name. At that time, Yuan joined Hongwu Shengzhen to rescue Hong Shenwu. Now that Hong Shenwu was rescued and a new Hong sect was established in Wukong State, Zhuan naturally did not want to stay in Hongwu Shengzhen anymore. Gui Jing frowned and continued to persuade, "Since you're afraid of being restricted, how about this? You only need to hang your name in Hongwu Shengzhen. You'll still be the vice sect leader, but you don't have to fulfill any of the duties of a vice sect leader. You can even use the sect's resources. However, Hongwu, when Shengzhen is in danger, you have to work together with Hongwu Shengzhen. What do you think?" Zhuan looked at Gui Jing with rather surprise. He hadn't expected that Gui Jing would actually make such a huge concession in this aspect. Needless to say, Gui Jing could be said to be very sincere. Zhuan thought for a moment and nodded. "If this is the condition, I can agree to it. However, I have a condition. Hongwu Shengzhen must fully support the Hong sect and help it develop. This is what Hongwu Shengzhen owes the Hong sect." Zhuan thought that Gui Jing would hesitate, but he did not expect Gui Jing to agree without hesitation. Compared to the Hong martial sacred sect, developing the Hong sect was just a small matter to Gui Jing, as long as the Hong martial sacred sect was able to recruit someone as talented as Zhuan. After Zhuan agreed, Gui Jing finally smiled and solemnly announced that Zhuan would be the vice sect leader of Hongwu Shengzhen. As soon as the announcement was made, the countless disciples in the square were in an uproar, but they quickly calmed down. Everyone had seen Zhuowen's strength and knew that Zhuowen was qualified to be the vice-sect leader. In this world, the strong were respected. As long as you were strong enough, you would be able to hold a high position, and the rest of the cultivators would be convinced. Zhuowen was now an untouchable powerhouse compared to Hongwu Shengzhen. Although the 8 elders of the 10 halls were a little hesitant, no one objected. Just like that, Zhuowen became the vice-sect leader of Hongwu Shengzhen, and the news quickly spread throughout the entire Liyuan main territory. "Brother Daowen, come with me. I'll bring you to your palace," Gui Jing said with a smile. Zhuowen nodded and waved his hand, beckoning Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu to come with him. At the same time, he said to Gui Jing casually, "Sect leader, I have 2 friends in Hongwu Shengzhen. I hope you can treat them well." Gui Jing asked, "Who are they? If they are your friends, I won't mistreat them." Zhuowen told Gui Jing the names of Li Xinbing and Ziling. Since Zhuowen was acquainted with these 2 women, since he was the vice-sect leader, he naturally had to help them. After Gui Jing agreed, she left the Hongwu square with Zhuowen, leaving the countless disciples in the square looking at each other in dismay. They didn't expect that everything would end like this. The scene just now was like a dream. It didn't seem real. "Where are Li Xinbing and Ziling?" Suddenly, Pei Shanglong walked out with a complicated expression and reported the names of the 2 women. Li Xinbing and Ziling's hearts tightened and they quickly ran out. After all, Pei Shanglong was one of the elders of the 10 halls, a high and mighty figure. "From now on, the 2 of you will follow me and cultivate. From now on, you will be my last disciples," Pei Shanglong said. Li Xinbing and Ziling were stunned at first, but then they were overjoyed and quickly bowed to him. They understood what this meant. Chapter 3987. Gui Jing brought Zhuowen to an extremely grand and luxurious palace. This palace was surrounded by teams of strict patrols. There were also many beautiful maids in the palace, who were taking care of the palace. When Gui Jing came to the front and back of the hall, the patrols and maids all walked out and bowed to Gui Jing respectfully. Although their status wasn't high, they still knew that the sect master was Gui Jing. In the future, this hall will belong to Daowen. He is your new hall master and also the deputy sect master of Hongwu and Shengzhen. Remember to serve him well and not neglect him. Do you understand? Gui Jing's gaze was majestic as she looked down at the patrols and maids. Her voice was like thunder in everyone's ears. Everyone looked at Zhuowen and was extremely surprised to find that he was so young. However, they naturally wouldn't go against Gui Jing's words. They all bowed to Zhuowen and respectfully called him deputy sect master. Gui Jing was very satisfied with the performance of these servants. She then turned around and looked at Zhuowen seriously. "Daowen, can we talk in private? I have something important to tell you." Zhuowen looked at the solemn expression on Gui Jing's face and felt a trace of unease in his heart. He nodded and followed Gui Jing to the side of the hall. Meanwhile, Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu remained where they were, waiting silently. "Sect master, what do you want to tell me?" Zhuowen asked. Gui Jing's gaze was complicated as she whispered, "Did you go to the valley to look for Lingyun?" "Yes, but master isn't in the valley." "Does sect master know where master is?" Zhuowen's eyes lit up. He was a little disappointed that he didn't find Shan Lingyun in the valley. Now that Gui Jing said this, she should know where Shan Lingyun was. Gui Jing sighed softly and fell into silence. She wanted to say something but stopped. Zhuowen's face immediately turned gloomy, and he said in a deep voice, "Sect master, could it be that something happened to my master?" Gui Jing's expression gave Zhuowen an extremely bad premonition. 3 days ago, Patriarch Huxley, Lu Renjue, personally brought people to capture Ling Yun. "I'm sorry, I couldn't keep Ling Yun." Gui Jing's eyes dimmed. Lu Renjue was too powerful. Although he had attacked back then, he had been easily repelled by Lu Renjue. He had even suffered severe internal injuries. "What? How did Lu Renjue know my master's location?" Zhuowen clenched his fists tightly, his eyes bursting with anger. When Shan Lingyun was searching for Moyan of Wushang for him, she had already expended too much of her lifespan. Zhuowen originally wanted to find a way to obtain the limitless longevity god medicine from Huxley after settling the matters at Hongwu Divine Sect. Unexpectedly, Shan Lingyun's whereabouts were exposed and she was caught. Gui Jing shook his head. He didn't know why Shan Lingyun's whereabouts would be exposed. After all, Shan Lingyun had stayed here for many years and had always been safe and sound. However, such an accident had happened this time. Since Master is Lu Renjue's illegitimate daughter, she is Huxley's humiliation. Isn't Master in danger? I have to go to Huxley. Zhuowen's eyes were filled with anger. Gui Jing hurriedly stopped Zhuowen and said, Dao, you can't go to Huxley. You're still too weak. Going to the Hushu clan is just suicide. Zhuowen's eyes darkened. Sec Master, don't worry. I won't act rashly. I will find a chance to save Master. Gui Jing said in a low voice, Huxley's defense system is extremely strong. It's definitely not something you can imagine. Furthermore, Lu Renjue is at the pinnacle of the ancient star transformation. His strength far surpasses yours. No matter how careful you are, you won't be able to save Ling Yun. Also, Ling Yun's life shouldn't be in too much danger now. Zhuowen calmed down. Gui Jing was right. The Hushu clan was the largest power in the Hushu realm. They had many experts, and they even had an ancient star transformation realm expert guarding them. No matter how heaven-defying he was, it was almost impossible for him to save Shan Lingyun. Unless Zhuowen's cultivation reached the celestial devil transformation, there might be a chance. Sec Master, what do you mean? Zhuowen asked. You should have experienced Ling Yun's spirit language technique. She is extremely talented in this area. She can definitely be called the strongest spirit language master in the entire Huxley realm. Her value is indescribable. As long as Lu Renjue isn't a fool, he won't kill Ling Yun. Gui Jing said in a low voice. What do you mean? Zhuowen's eyes lit up. Gui Jing was right. Shan Lingyun was extremely valuable. Huxley would probably keep her alive. Back then, Lu Renjue wanted to kill Shan Lingyun because she was still young and an illegitimate daughter. She didn't have any value. But now, it was different. Lu Renjue can also see that Ling Yun only has 100 years left. In his opinion, Ling Yun will eventually die. He doesn't even need to do it himself. Hence, he will definitely make good use of Ling Yun's spirit language technique before her lifespan is up. Gui Jing stared at Zhuowen and said in a low voice, Daowen, your talent is really strong. You can kill Gu Yunfei and Sha Wuji, who are both in the early stages of the celestial devil transformation realm. If your cultivation improves, you will have the ability to save Ling Yun. We still have 100 years. In this 100 years, I will do my best to help you cultivate. I will use the power of the entire Hongwu Shengzhen sect. Gui Jing looked at Zhuowen with anticipation. He knew that with his talent, it would be difficult for him to break through. Hence, he placed all his hopes on Zhuowen. He knew that if there was anyone who could save Shan Lingyun, it would be Zhuowen. Zhuowen bowed deeply to Gui Jing and said in a low voice, Sect leader, I will have to trouble you for this. Gui Jing sighed softly and said, You don't have to thank me. I promised Lu Huanyu that I would take good care of Ling Yun. Now that I didn't keep my promise, I will do my best to make up for it. Gui Jing bowed to Zhuowen and said, Daowen, I will have to rely on you. Once you are successful in your cultivation, I will follow you to the Huxley. After Zhuowen and Gui Jing reached an agreement, Gui Jing decided to bring Zhuowen to a place in 3 days. That place could speed up his cultivation. Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu naturally didn't know about the agreement between Zhuowen and Gui Jing. They also didn't know about Shan Lingyun. The two of them stayed in Hongwu Shengzhen for 2 days before bidding farewell to Jun. Hong Shenwu planned to return to the Wukong state to develop the Hong sect. Luo Lingyu expressed her willingness to assist Hong Shenwu and become the deputy sect leader of the Hong sect. Zhuowen approved of this decision. Luo Lingyu's talent was extremely high. It wouldn't be a problem for her to reach the God Realm transformation stage in the future. She might even have a chance to reach the celestial demon transformation stage. With Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu, as well as Zhuowen's reputation, he knew that no one in the Wukong state would be foolish enough to go against the Hong sect. The second day after Hong Shenwu and Luo Lingyu left, Gui Jing found Zhuowen and brought Zhuowen away from Hongwu Shengzhen. The island where Hangwu Shengzhen was located was in the middle of a boundless Black Sea. This Black Sea was extremely dangerous. It was filled with many giant beasts and evil spirits. Many ships that passed by had fallen into the Black Sea. There was basically no chance of survival. Chapter 3988. Yuan looked at Gui Jing, who was standing at the bow of the ship, and asked, "Sect Master, where are you taking me? Can that place really speed up my cultivation?" Gui Jing turned around and said rather seriously, "I found this place by accident. It contains extremely pure energy, and this energy is not ordinary chaotic energy, but a higher level energy. I suspect that place might have something to do with the immemorial star system." Hearing this, Zhuowen's eyes revealed a serious expression. The immemorial star system was a high and mighty place, and there were legendary gods there. And a place that could be related to the immemorial star system was definitely not an ordinary place. The spaceship traveled on the Black Sea for a full 10 days before finally stopping. Zhuowen noticed that there was a small whirlpool directly below the spaceship. This whirlpool was too ordinary, and it was difficult to notice the existence of this whirlpool. "There's a formation on this whirlpool?" Zhuowen narrowed his eyes. He was a level 7 formation Dao master, and he could see at a glance that the whirlpool was covered by a formation. Moreover, this formation was extremely extraordinary, and it might have reached level 8 formation Dao master. This formation was set up by a level 8 formation Dao master that I found. If the formation is not broken, the true face of this whirlpool will not be revealed at all. Gui Jing explained to Zhuowen while throwing out a formation flag, which landed in the center of the whirlpool directly below. Cracking sounds could be heard as the formation flags fell into the center of the whirlpool. The surrounding formation was immediately undone, and the small whirlpool rapidly expanded. It was originally only a foot wide, but it expanded to dozens of feet wide in an instant. At the same time, a brand new, surging energy surged out from the depths of the whirlpool. The moment he felt this energy, Zhuowen's eyes revealed a look of surprise. This energy was indeed as Gui Jing said. It was not chaotic energy, but energy that was much purer and more advanced than chaotic energy. The immemorial star system is shining. Zhuowen raised his head and looked at the ancient star system in the sky. Inside the ancient star system, specks of light were surging. These scattered specks of light actually fell into the depths of the vortex as if they had a tacit understanding. Zhuowen finally understood why Gui Jing said that this place had something to do with the ancient star system. "Go. Let's go in." Gui Jing's eyes were filled with excitement. He controlled the flying ship and charged into the whirlpool. At the same time, after he had completely entered, he put away the array flags. The whirlpool outside rapidly shrank and once again became an extremely inconspicuous little whirlpool. Inside the whirlpool, Zhuowen discovered that it was very spacious. It was like a vacuum, surrounded by black seawater that was constantly rotating. In the seawater, Zhuowen's divine sense could sense endless evil spirits and the shadows of giant beasts passing by. However, there seemed to be some kind of extremely powerful special energy at the edge of the vortex that kept all the evil spirits and giant beasts outside. The whirlpool was extremely deep. Even with Gui Jing driving the flying ship at maximum speed, it still took them half a day to reach the bottom. At the bottom was a large open space. In the middle of the open space lay a jade coffin. This coffin was very large. It was at least 5 meters tall and dozens of meters long. It lay in the middle of the open space, emitting a lustrous white light. The open space was filled with an extremely rich energy that was being emitted by this coffin. "Sect leader, this coffin is?" Yuan asked. Gui Jing shook his head and said, "I'm not sure about the origin of this coffin. When I first found this place, this coffin was already in this open space. And you should have felt it too. The rich energy is being emitted from this coffin. Back then, I was able to advance to the celestial demon transformation so quickly because of the energy here. However, my talent was limited. Although the energy here was abundant, I was still unable to advance further." Zhuan circled the coffin and found that there were all kinds of mysterious words on the surface of the coffin. These words were words that Zhuan had never heard of or seen before. However, Zhuan was surprised to find that when he looked directly at these mysterious words, he felt a sense of dizziness. Zhuan hurriedly shifted his eyes away, his gaze solemn. He was sure that there was an extremely powerful existence buried in this coffin. Daowen, you should stay here and cultivate during this period of time. I hope that you can break through to the celestial demon transformation as soon as possible. We still have 100 years. If you can successfully break through before the 100 years, then we have hope of rescuing Ling Yun. Guijing said. He was very clear about Zhuowen's strength. If a deity domain transformation could kill a celestial demon transformation, then once Zhuowen advanced to the celestial demon transformation, he would have the strength of an ancient star transformation. And such strength, in the entire Huxley, would be considered one of the strongest. Zhuowen nodded and then sat cross-legged beside the coffin. He found that the closer he was to the coffin, the thicker the energy was. Seeing this, Guijing could not help but nod and leave. With the energy here, I can at least push my cultivation to the pinnacle of the celestial demon transformation. Zhuowen's eyes shone. He cultivated the primordial technique, and there were no bottlenecks for him to break through. As long as there was enough energy, he could continue to break through. Thinking of this, Zhuowen calmed his heart and began to circulate the primordial technique. Then, the surrounding energy became like a whirlpool, rushing into Zhuowen's body with a tyrannical momentum. Zhuowen only felt an indescribable sense of pleasure in his body, and he had the urge to cry out loud. This energy rushed into his meridians like a flood, spreading throughout his body and nourishing his body. Zhuowen's cultivation was also unknowingly rising. Time gradually passed, and in the blink of an eye, 3 years had passed. Sitting in the middle of the whirlpool, Zhuowen suddenly opened his eyes, and a vast aura surged out from his body. In these 3 years, his cultivation speed was extremely fast, leaping from the early deity domain transformation to the pinnacle of the deity domain transformation. And today, he had finally broken through again, reaching the celestial demon transformation. Boom boom boom. Zhuowen stood up, and terrifying sounds of explosions rang out from his body, as if there were terrifying explosions going off inside his body. So powerful! Is this the power of the celestial demon transformation? Zhuowen clenched his fists. He could feel that after reaching the celestial demon transformation, his strength had increased to an extremely terrifying level, many times stronger than when he was at the deity domain transformation. The great heaven-crushing tribulation is about to descend. I wonder if I can survive it here? Chapter 3989. Crackle crackle. Bolts of lightning rushed into the whirlpool like lightning dragons and blasted towards Zhuowen. These bolts of lightning were not ordinary. They were as black as ink and exuded an extremely terrifying power. Every bolt of lightning was 10 feet thick. This was definitely the most terrifying lightning tribulation Zhuowen had ever seen. Zhuowen's expression was extremely serious. Although his strength had undergone a terrifying transformation after reaching the celestial demon transformation stage, he was still not confident that he would be able to withstand this tribulation. Although he knew that after cultivating the primordial technique, the heaven-crushing tribulation he would experience would be far more terrifying than ordinary cultivators, he didn't expect that the heaven-crushing tribulation after the celestial devil transformation would be far more terrifying than what he expected. The lightning tribulation came one after another at an extremely fast speed. In the blink of an eye, it appeared above Zhuowen's head. Zhuowen's scalp went numb. Just as he was about to resist the lightning tribulation, the jade coffin that was lying quietly in the middle of the empty space suddenly trembled violently. Then, the densely packed characters on the surface of the jade coffin lit up at the same time. A vast and terrifying power surged out like a tidal wave and swept towards the heaven-crushing tribulations. Zhuowen's reaction was extremely fast. In the instant that this mysterious power surged towards him, he immediately dodged. Then, he was shocked to find that the bolts of black lightning dissipated the moment they came into contact with the mysterious power. Zhuowen was dumbfounded. The sudden surge of energy from the jade coffin was a little too terrifying. The heaven-crushing tribulations were so easily dispersed. Then, something even more ridiculous happened. The mysterious characters on the surface of the jade coffin detached themselves and condensed into a divine sword formed purely from mysterious characters. This divine sword was extremely large, at least several thousand feet long. The sword chi that emanated from its surface caused Juan to be severely injured the moment he came into contact with it. He had no choice but to retreat. Juan hurriedly retreated from the whirlpool. His face was full of shock. Just the sword chi alone was enough to injure him. Just how terrifying was this divine sword? Juan retreated far away. As he circulated his divine power to heal himself, he paid close attention to what was happening in the whirlpool. The divine sword, which was thousands of feet long, suddenly shot out like an arrow and rushed into the sky. Zhuowen's heaven-crushing tribulation was extremely terrifying. Over a dozen black holes appeared in the sky, and each black hole was hundreds of thousands of feet in size. Terrifying heaven-crushing tribulation energy was brewing in the depths of the black holes, and it descended in an invincible manner. Rumble! The divine sword was so fast that it stood in the first black hole in the blink of an eye. At this moment, it was as if the entire sky was shaking. Zhuowen was shocked to discover that the black hole in the sky had actually been forcefully slashed apart and dissipated. Bang bang bang! The divine sword was like a swimming fish, shuttling back and forth between the dozen or so black holes. Every time it slashed, a black hole would be destroyed. Every time it slashed, it would create an earth-shattering power. The commotion caused by the divine sword was so great that most of the powerful cultivators in the Liyuan main region were alarmed. In the Hongwu Shengzhen, Gui Jing, who was browsing through the ancient records in the sect, suddenly felt the intense tremors in the sky. He raised his head abruptly, and his eyes were filled with shock. He took a step forward with his right foot and appeared in the sky above the Hongwu Shengzhen as if he had teleported. Then he saw a scene that he would never forget. In the sky above the Black Sea to the west of the Hongwu Shengzhen, more than a dozen black holes appeared. Thousands of divine swords shuttled through the black holes like agile pythons. Every time they slashed out an earth-shattering sword aura, they would be able to destroy the black holes. They would be destroyed. Moreover, the commotion was so terrifying that he suspected that even an elite who had reached the pinnacle of the heaven-crushing nine-change ancient star transformation might not be able to create such a commotion. Shit, that's the place where Zhuan is cultivating. Could something have happened? Gui Jing suddenly thought of something and slapped his forehead. He took a step forward with his right foot and flew toward that place. He was really worried that something had happened to Zhuan. In the depths of the green Luan Shengzhen, in a blessed land, a woman with a delicate face and jade-like skin suddenly opened her eyes. What kind of power is this? Even the sky seems to be stirred. The woman was shocked. She left the blessed land and looked at the depths of the Black Sea in the distance with her beautiful eyes. She muttered to herself, could it be that there's a great battle in the Black Sea? After the woman appeared in the sky above the green Luan Shengzhen, many disciples and elders in the sect were in awe. The woman in front of them was the true ruler of the Green Luan Shengzhen. In the Liyuan main region, she was known as the Green Luan Fairy. She was an elite on the same level as Gui Jing. You all have your own duties in the sect. Don't leave so easily. I'll go take a look. The Green Luan Fairy's voice was as clear as an oriole's. After speaking, she disappeared. The disciples and elders of the Azure Luan sacred sect all looked at each other in dismay. They had naturally sensed the terrifying commotion from before. Originally, many people wanted to go take a look, but now that the Green Luan Fairy had spoken, they did not dare to disobey. Moreover, even the Green Luan Fairy was so cautious. What happened there was definitely not something they could interfere with. When the Green Luan Fairy left the Green Luan Shengzhen, Long Duzi of the Four Shengzhen and the Heavenly Star Saint Lord of the Heavenly Star Shengzhen were alarmed and left their respective sections. As for the experts of the three devil clans, the Heavenly Devil Clan, the Ghost Devil Clan, and the Yimo Clan, they all rushed towards the Black Sea. They subconsciously thought that such a huge commotion should be the birth of a rare treasure. Other than the 3 devil clans and the 4 Shenzhen, the 7 most powerful forces in the Liyuan main region, there were countless experts from the Liyuan main region who came after hearing the news. It could be said that it was an unprecedented grand occasion. As the person involved this time, Yuan was completely unaware. He was completely shocked by the terrifying power of the divine sword. Although he was severely injured by the sword qi, his physique was shocking. In addition to the miraculous primordial technique that he cultivated, his injuries were much better. When the divine sword in the sky slashed down on the last black hole, it immediately disintegrated into a mess of mysterious words. These mysterious words were like a long dragon and returned to the jade coffin. Buzz. The jade coffin emitted a shocking buzzing sound that shook the sky. Zhuan could not help but cover his ears and reveal a painful expression. Chapter 3990. Dao, what's going on? At the same time, Gui Jing had used a temporary teleportation array to arrive near Zhuan. He also saw the jade coffin fly away, and he couldn't help but ask in a daze. Zhuan looked at Gui Jing, who had appeared beside him. He was a little surprised by the latter's speed. He knew that it had taken Gui Jing several days to bring him here. However, after sensing the fluctuations of the teleportation array not far from Gui Jing, he understood that Gui Jing had set up a teleportation array nearby in advance and directly teleported here. Sect leader, that jade coffin flew away on its own. Yuan was a little embarrassed. Speaking of which, the jade coffin's strange behavior had a lot to do with him. If not for the fact that his heaven-crushing tribulation was so terrifying that it had provoked the jade coffin's resistance, perhaps the jade coffin wouldn't have left just like that. Gui Jing was stunned for a long time before coming to his senses. Although he had just arrived, he also saw a streak of light fly away in an instant. At that time, he didn't pay much attention to it, but now that Zhuan mentioned it, he realized that it was actually the jade coffin that had flown away. It's fate. Gui Jing was a little disappointed. That jade coffin was his greatest secret. His talent was limited, and although the difficulty of breaking through was very high, entering this place to cultivate from time to time was still quite beneficial to his cultivation. As long as he persevered, and with the help of that mysterious energy, he still had hope of breaking through. This time, he had broken through. Unfortunately, this hope was completely shattered this time. Daowen, you broke through to the celestial demon transformation stage? Only now did Gui Jing notice that the aura on Zhuan's body was extremely vast. That feeling of being like a god or a demon was extremely familiar to him. This was the unique aura of the celestial demon transformation stage. And Gui Jing also realized that the aura of Zhuan's celestial demon transformation stage was much stronger than his. Back when Zhuan was only at the early stage of the celestial demon transformation stage, he could already kill Gu Yunfei and Sha Wuji. Gui Jing believed that now that Zhuan had broken through to the celestial demon transformation stage, he might not be weaker than him. However, what shocked Gui Jing was that Zhuan's cultivation speed was actually so fast, crossing an entire realm in just 3 years. Although he had the help of the mysterious energy emitted from the jade coffin, it was still unbelievable. Back then, with the help of this jade coffin, it had taken him nearly 1,000 years to reach the Fiend God transformation realm from the early God domain transformation realm. This was already considered very fast. However, how could he have imagined that Zhuan would actually be so freakish? In just 3 years, he had completed the results of nearly 1,000 years of cultivation. Daowen, let's give it a try. Gui Jing suddenly felt excited. His cultivation level had already reached the late stages of the Fiend God transformation stage, which was 2 whole stages higher than Zhuan. Although he knew that Zhuan was a freak, the difference between each minor level in the Fiend God transformation realm was still extremely huge. In his opinion, Zhuan's strength shouldn't be too far off from his own. Sure. Zhuan was also eager to give it a try. He had just reached the Fiend God transformation realm and had yet to test his strength. If he could spar with Gui Jing, he would know what his current level of battle strength was. Be careful, Daowen, I'm coming over. Gui Jing suddenly shouted. Taking a step forward, he rushed towards Zhuan and punched out with his right fist. Boom boom boom. Wherever the fist passed, the air exploded. The entire Black Sea was stirred up by the power of the fist. It was formed by extremely fine waves. In the void behind Gui Jing, the shadow of a fiend god appeared. Gui Jing's fiend god was an old man in a Taoist robe. He held a horsetail whisk in his hand and sat cross-legged in the void behind him. "I wonder what my fiend god is?" Zhuan muttered to himself. He no longer controlled the fiend god energy in his body. Instantly, a vast sea of fiend god energy surged out from his body. Behind him, the shadow of a huge fiend god appeared. However, to Zhuowen's surprise, the godly devil's silhouette was not a person, but a huge purple tree. This tree was so huge that it seemed to connect the heavens and the earth. On the densely packed tree trunk, there were numerous purple fruits that were larger than planets. For some reason, Yun had a feeling that these purple fruits were alive, as if they were nurturing some powerful life form. Just as he was thinking, one of the purple fruits fell to the ground. The surface of the fruit shattered, and a huge fiend god leapt out from within. This fiend god had 3 heads and 6 arms, and each arm held a different weapon. Its aura was so strong that it even overshadowed the fiend god behind Gui Jing. The 3-headed, 6-armed god fiend stepped forward and kicked Gui Jing. Bang! When the fist and leg collided, an extremely terrifying energy ripple burst forth. Then, Gui Jing found that his right arm was directly bent, and he spat out a mouthful of blood as he flew backwards. What shocked Gui Jing even more was that after the 3-headed fiend god kicked him away, it did not chase after him. Instead, it pounced on his fiend god. The next scene left Gui Jing dumbfounded. His sage-like Taoist robed god fiend had always been calm and composed, but when he saw Zhuowen's god fiend, he actually trembled in fear and quickly shrank back into Gui Jing's body. Zhuan also saw this unbelievable scene. He hurriedly put away his fiend god and the huge purple tree. "Sect Master, are you all right?" Zhuan rushed to Gui Jing's side and helped him up. He asked with concern. Gui Jing shook his head and said, "It's just a minor injury. It's nothing serious. But your fiend god is a little too strange. My fiend god was so scared that it didn't dare to fight." Until now, Gui Jing was still in disbelief. His fiend god was so scared that it shrank back into his body and did not dare to fight. He knew very well what this meant. Zhuowen's fiend god was much, much stronger than his. Otherwise, it would not have been able to scare his fiend god away. Zhuan was also a little confused. He recalled the purple tree that he had manifested and realized that it was exactly the same as the primordial Hongmeng tree. Could it be that because I cultivated the primordial Hongmeng technique, the fiend god I awakened is related to the primordial Hongmeng tree? Also, the fruits on the tree can bear fiend gods. Zhuan recalled that the purple tree had borne over 100 fruits. Did that mean that it could hatch over 100 fiend gods? If that was the case, then the fiend god he awakened would be really amazing. Other people could only awaken 1 fiend god in their fiend god transformation, but he could awaken over 100 fiend gods. Just thinking about it was terrifying. My fiend god needs to be carefully studied, Zhuan thought to himself. His fiend god was too mysterious. He had not completely figured it out. If he could figure it out, then he would be able to unleash the full power of his fiend god. That would be really powerful. Chapter 3991. The sharp sound of something breaking through the air instantly rang out. Then, Tuan and Gui Jing saw a tall and beautiful woman with snow-white skin, who looked like a fairy that had descended from the heavens, appear before their eyes. The moment Gui Jing saw this beautiful woman, his face turned gloomy. "Goddess Qing Luan?" Gui Jing asked in a low voice. This woman was Qing Luan, female celestial who came from Qing Luan Shenzhen after hearing the news. At this moment, Lady Qing Luan's beautiful eyes scanned the surroundings. Then she looked at Gui Jing and frowned. "Sect leader Gui, there was a huge commotion here just now. What exactly happened?" Gui Jing's eyes flickered. She shook her head and said, "We've only just arrived. We don't know what's going on here." Zhuan stood behind Gui Jing and didn't say anything. He only silently looked at Goddess Qing Luan. Fairy Qinghuan's beautiful eyes shifted slightly and landed on Zhuowen's body. She smiled and said, "If nothing happened, why did this little brother suffer such heavy injuries?" Gui Jing frowned and asked coldly, "Fairy Qinghuan, what do you mean by this?" Aunt Celestial Qinghuan faintly smiled and didn't get angry. Just as she was about to continue speaking, she suddenly turned to the horizon behind her and said in a deep voice, "It seems that many old friends can't hold themselves back and are all rushing over here. Sect Master Gui, in front of so many old friends, I think you should be able to come clean." Gui Jing's face darkened. He was very clear that those who could rush over in such a short time were all experts of the Fiend God transformation realm. Furthermore, they were all leaders of major powers. None of them were weaker than him, and some were even stronger than him. Immediately, numerous figures appeared nearby. Shengzhen Long Duzi, Heavenly Star Shengzhen, Heavenly Star Holy Lord, Heavenly Devil Clans Heavenly Devil Evil King, Hybrid Demon Clans Hybrid Demon King, Ghost Demon Clans Ghost Demon Sun. Gui Jing's face instantly turned pale as she gazed at these figures that appeared one after another. All of them were the peak experts of the Liyuan main region, and their arrival caused Gui Jing to feel extremely pressured. "Fairy, Sect Leader Gui, so you're here too. There was such a huge commotion just now. What exactly happened here?" Celestial Star Saint Lord was wearing a long robe that was filled with starlight. He looked extremely handsome. He and Long Duzi immediately came to Fairy Qinghuan and Gui Jing's side. Celestial Star Saint Lord asked Fairy Qinghuan and Gui Jing. Zhuan looked at this scene silently. He realized that the four leaders of the four Shengzhen were obviously not on good terms with the three devil clans. They had distanced themselves from the three devil clans the moment they arrived, and their auras were quite hostile. During the period when Zhuan was in Hongwu Shengzhen, he had naturally learned about the major forces in the Liyuan main region. Among them, the three devil clans and the four Shengzhen were the most powerful forces in the Liyuan main region. Except for those reclusive exorcist clans, there were almost no forces in the Liyuan main region that could compete with these seven forces. Using brute force, the three leaders of the three devil clans snorted coldly and looked at Celestial Star Saint Lord and the other three with gloomy faces. Facing the Celestial Star Saint Lord's question, Gui Jing remained silent. On the other hand, Goddess Qinghuan smiled and said, "I also just arrived. Sect Master Gui arrived much earlier than me. I believe Sect Master Gui knows more about what happened than me." Once she said that, Celestial Star Saint Lord, Long Duzi, and the three leaders of the three devil clans all looked at Gui Jing. "Sect Leader Gui, we are all comrades. What exactly happened? You should explain it to us." Celestial Star Saint Lord's tone was gentle, but his eyes were sharp. They were not stupid. They knew that Hongwu Shengzhen was built in the Black Sea and was the closest to this place. Only Gui Jing would be able to rush here to understand the situation. Gui Jing sighed softly. He knew that he had to explain. Otherwise, these people would not let this matter rest. Actually, this is what happened. Gui Jing told them everything he knew, including the whirlpool and the jade coffin in the whirlpool. Of course, he omitted the fact that he had discovered the whirlpool a long time ago and that he had been cultivating here for a long time. He only said that he had just discovered the whirlpool and the jade coffin. Jade coffin? To be able to cause such a terrifying commotion, this coffin must be a supreme treasure. It might even contain the secret of the great carefree realm. Celestial Star Saint Lord said with bright eyes. Long Duzi, Fairy Qinghuan, and the three leaders of the three devil clans also had bright eyes. They had the same idea as Celestial Star Saint Lord. The jade coffin was definitely not ordinary. Where did the jade coffin fly to? Celestial Star Saint Lord looked at Gui Jing and asked anxiously. It flew to the west. Its speed was too fast. I could not capture its exact trajectory. Gui Jing pointed to the west. That was the direction in which the jade coffin flew. Alright, let's go and take a look. Perhaps we can find the jade coffin on the way. Celestial Star Saint Lord suggested excitedly. The others naturally had no objections. Gui Jing was also a little tempted. However, when he thought of the shocking speed of the jade coffin, he knew that even if they walked to the end of the west, they might not be able to find the jade coffin. I won't participate. The jade coffin is too fast. I don't think we can find it. Gui Jing shook his head. Celestial Star Saint Lord and the others looked at Gui Jing in surprise. They did not expect Gui Jing to have no interest in finding the jade coffin. You don't think you can find it, or are you guilty? I think you've hidden the jade coffin. Otherwise, why didn't you come with us? I don't believe that you won't be tempted by that thing. Suddenly, Gui Mozi of the three devil clans said ambiguously. As soon as he said that, Celestial Star Saint Lord, Long Duzi, and Fairy Qing Wan all looked at Gui Jing with strange looks. Originally, they did not think in this direction. However, after hearing Gui Mozi's words, they became suspicious of Gui Jing. Gui Jing looked at Gui Mozi with anger and shouted, Gui Mozi, you can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. I can swear to the heavenly Tao that the jade coffin is not on me. It has indeed escaped far away. Gui Mozi laughed sinisterly. He pointed at Jun and said, the jade coffin is not on you, but it can be on the little brat behind you. Who would believe your oath to the heavenly Tao? Heavenly Devil Evil King also looked at Gui Jing coldly and said, Gui Mozi is right. Sect Master Gui is very suspicious. In order to get rid of your suspicion, I think you should open up your divine souls and let us check the memories in your divine souls. This is the most effective way to get rid of suspicion. Gui Jing's face was as gloomy as water. He said coldly, you want me to open up my divine souls for you to check? Only you can think of this. Chapter 3992. Hee, if it's just me, you can indeed refuse. However, if all of us ask you to let go of your divine soul, do you dare to refuse? Heavenly Devil Evil King revealed an evil smile as he looked at Gui Jing with a profound gaze. Gui Jing sneered and said, our four Shenzhen forces have always been stronger than your three demon clans. You want me to let go of my divine soul just because you want me to? What a fool's dream. Heavenly Devil Evil King's smile became wider and wider as he said, it's not just our three demon clans that want you to do this. Look at the other three. It was only then that Gui Jing noticed that the Celestial Star Saint Master and the other two were tempted. They looked at him with a strange gaze. Heavenly Devil Evil King, shut up. Don't compare us to your three demon clans. Long Duzi shouted at Heavenly Devil Evil King and then looked at Gui Jing and said gently, Sect Master Gui, don't worry. We won't be in cahoots with the three demon clans. The four of us have known each other for many years. You should trust the three of us. Let go of your divine soul and let the three of us check it. Look, this will prove your innocence. Sect Master Gui, don't worry. You can trust our characters. We won't do anything to hurt you. We can swear to the heavens. Goddess Qingwan also persuaded. Gui Jing's face was pale. He looked at Goddess Qingwan and Long Duzi in disbelief. How could these two make such an outrageous request so casually? Heavenly Star Saint Lord, do you think so too? Gui Jing looked at the silent Heavenly Star Saint Lord with a hopeful look. Heavenly Star Saint Lord was recognized as the strongest among the four Shenzhen. His status was the highest among the four, and his words had the most weight. As long as Heavenly Star Saint Lord objected, Goddess Qingwan and Long Duzi wouldn't dare to oppose. Heavenly Star Saint Lord looked at Gui Jing silently and said, Sect Master Gui, I think Goddess Qingwan and Long Duzi are right. This is the only way for you to get rid of suspicion. You and I are the same kind of people. You should trust us. We won't hurt you. Gui Jing's face was pale as despair flashed in his eyes. He knew that if Heavenly Star Saint Lord said so, he wouldn't be able to change the outcome. The three demon clans' heads looked at everything coldly. They exchanged glances and secretly communicated with each other to attack Zhuowen, who was beside Gui Jing. The Celestial Star Saint Master and the others were very smart. They surrounded Gui Jing from three different angles and completely protected her. The three of them simply couldn't take advantage of this opportunity. Therefore, they targeted Zhuowen. They all sensed that Zhuowen's aura was not very stable, and since he was with Gui Jing, he must have seen the truth of what had happened here. Just as the celestial star sacred master and the other two's attention were all on Gui Jing, the three Mo family heads suddenly made their move. Instantly, demonic chi filled the sky, and the sky within tens of thousands of miles was enveloped in terrifying demonic chi. The celestial star sacred master and the other two immediately felt the terrifying devil chi. They immediately released their own auras, intending to deal with the attacks of the three devil clans. But soon, they realized that the three demon clans weren't targeting them. Their target was Zhuan, whom they had neglected. Heavenly Star Saint Lord, we won't fight with you for Gui Jing. But we want this little guy. If you don't agree, we don't mind starting a war with you. The Heavenly Fiend Evil King's voice was heard. The three people who were planning to use their strength to block the three demon clans' heads stopped when they heard the Heavenly Fiend Evil King's words. They only cared about Gui Jing. They didn't care about the young man beside him. They didn't care about Zhuowen's life or death. Despicable. When Gui Jing saw this, he subconsciously wanted to attack. However, he was stopped by Heavenly Star Saint Lord and the others. Sect Master Gui, it's better if you don't get involved. The three demon clans' heads have joined forces. You'll be courting death if you go. Long Duzi said. Gui Jing's face was gloomy and his heart was burning with anger. The three of them were too much. He had treated them as fellow cultivators. Now they fell out with him just because of suspicion. Their speed was faster than flipping a book. However, Gui Jing thought of Zhuowen's strange divine demon. Perhaps Zhuowen could stop the three demon clans' heads. Gui Mozi and the hybrid demon king's cultivation were similar to Gui Jing's. They were both in the late stage of the divine demon transformation realm. He knew that the two of them weren't a match for him. However, the Heavenly Fiend Evil King was a pinnacle expert in the divine demon transformation realm. He was comparable to Heavenly Star Saint Lord and was a difficult opponent to deal with. Originally, when Zhuowen saw the actions of the Celestial Star Saint Master and the other two, he felt extremely disgusted. He wanted to help Gui Jing out of the situation, but he did not expect the three Mo family heads to join forces and attack him. You're courting death. Zhuowen's eyes were cold as his body surged with divine demon energy. Although he had just reached the divine demon transformation realm, the divine demon energy in his body was extremely strong. Even Gui Jing couldn't compare. The three demon clans' heads were extremely fast. They arrived in front of Zhuowen in the blink of an eye. The first to attack was Gui Mozi. Devil Chi surged from Gui Mozi's body. Behind the endless devil chi, a huge divine demon appeared. Gui Mozi's divine demon was extremely strange. Its entire body was a huge ball of flesh. On the surface of the ball of flesh, there were countless ferocious faces. Each face was different. It's Gui Mozi's divine demon, thousand-faced demon god. It said that every time Gui Mozi killed someone, his divine demon god would devour the face of the person he killed and appear on his body. Now, this thousand-faced demon god will have another face. Gui Mozi laughed sinisterly as his eyes flashed with a bloodthirsty light. The Heavenly Fiend Evil King and the Hybrid Demon King blocked Zhuowen's path of retreat. They didn't plan to attack. After all, Zhuowen's aura wasn't strong. He wasn't qualified for the three of them to join forces. Gui Mozi, don't go overboard. Just cripple him. After checking his soul, you can kill him however you want. But you can't kill him now. The Heavenly Fiend Evil King said coldly. Gui Mozi laughed and said, Don't worry, Heavenly Fiend Evil King. Although I'm bloodthirsty, I know my limits. After saying that, Gui Mozi took a step forward and rushed towards Zhuowen. He punched out with his right fist. At the same time, the thousand-faced demon god surrounded Zhuowen from behind. The thousand faces let out a sharp sound that affected his soul and consciousness. Zhuowen's eyes were calm. He didn't even release his divine demon god. His right hand turned into a claw and grabbed at Gui Mozi. The rolling divine demon god's power surged. Then he suddenly exerted force and broke Gui Mozi's fist. Then his hand grabbed Gui Mozi's head. You want to kill me? That depends on whether you have the ability or not. After saying that, the divine demon god's power in Zhuowen's right hand exploded. Gui Mozi didn't even have time to scream before his head exploded. At the same time, Yun took out the purple gold sword embryo and slashed at the thousand-faced demon god behind him. The terrifying sword Qi instantly cut the thousand-faced demon god into countless pieces. Chapter 3993. This guy is dead for sure. The heavenly star Saint Lord shook his head and said indifferently when he saw the three demon family heads attack. Celestial Maiden Qinghuan and Long Duzi also nodded in deep agreement. Although they could also see that Zhuwen was also an expert of the fiend god transformation stage, but from his aura, they could see that this child was only at the early stage of the fiend god transformation stage. Such a cultivation in the Li Yuan main region could be considered an expert who could dominate a region. However, as the 7 strongest experts in the Li Yuan main region, Zhuwen's cultivation was not necessarily worthy of their attention. Moreover, the 3 demon family heads had joined forces. They did not think that Zhuwen could survive. Suddenly, the heavenly star Saint Lord's expression froze. His eyes were filled with disbelief as he looked ahead. How is this possible? The heavenly star Saint Lord blurted out. Lady Qinghuan and Long Duzi were stunned. Then, they followed the heavenly star Saint Lord's gaze and looked over. The 2 of them froze when they saw that Gui Mozi was dead. He was killed in one move. The person who killed Gui Mozi was none other than Zhuwen, whom they did not think highly of from the beginning. At this moment, Zhuwen stood proudly in the void. His right hand was holding Gui Mozi's headless corpse. His indifferent gaze fell on the heavenly devil demon king and the hybrid demon king, who were equally shocked. Did I provoke you? Why did you attack me? Zhuwen's voice was very calm, but it was filled with intense coldness and killing intent. The heavenly devil demon king and the hybrid demon king could not help but tremble. Their eyes were filled with fear. Although Gui Mozi was the weakest among the 3 of them, he was still in the late stage of the divine demon transformation realm. Even the strongest heavenly devil demon king could not kill Gui Mozi with one move as easily as Zhuwen. Speak. Are the 2 of you mute? Zhuwen's cold gaze fell on the heavenly devil demon king and the hybrid demon king. He shouted softly. His voice was like rolling thunder. It was loud and terrifying. My friend, it's a misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding. It's all because this devil child wants to deal with you. It has nothing to do with us. The hybrid demon king revealed an ugly smile. Although the hybrid devil king was stronger than Ghost Demon Child, there was a limit to how strong they were. If Zhuwen could easily kill Ghost Demon Child, it would not be difficult for him to kill him. The heavenly devil demon king's face turned gloomy. He was the leader of the 3 heavenly devil patriarchs. His strength was at the peak of the Liyuan main domain. How could he put down his face and beg Zhuwen for mercy? Misunderstanding. Zhuwen sneered, but his eyes fell on the heavenly devil evil king and asked sarcastically, You also think this is a misunderstanding? Heavenly devil evil king cupped his fists and said in a deep voice, Fellow Taoist, I am heavenly devil clan's patriarch, heavenly devil evil king. I believe you have heard of my name. How about this? The reason why we attacked you was to check your soul. If you do me a favor and let me examine your soul, we will not pursue the matter. You killed the devil child. Of course, I will swear to the heavenly Tao that I will never harm your soul. Heavenly devil evil king understood that Zhuwen's strength was not ordinary, so his tone softened, but he did not apologize. Instead, he planned to check Zhuwen's soul. Heavenly devil evil king believed that even if his strength was not enough to defeat Zhuwen, it would be difficult for Zhuwen to defeat him. In addition, he also had the help of the hybrid devil king. He felt that no matter how strong Zhuwen was, he would not be a match for the 2 of them. You want me to let you search my soul? However, Zhuwen smiled. Then, a terrifying killing intent erupted from his eyes. You simply don't know how the word death is written. With that, Zhuwen took a step forward and rushed towards the heavenly devil evil king. Surging divine devil power spread around his body like a wave, forming a violent purple airflow. Humph! No matter how strong you are, can you be stronger than me and the hybrid devil king? Heavenly devil evil king coldly snorted, and also erupted with a powerful divine devil power, and a huge divine devil phantom appeared behind him. Heavenly Devil Evil King's Divine Devil Phantom was an armored warrior covered in blood chi, holding a huge blood blade. The smell of blood emitted from its body was extremely strong, sweeping through the entire space. Boom! Zhuowen's speed was extremely fast, and in the blink of an eye he arrived, and then heavily collided with Heavenly Devil Evil King, causing a terrifying energy explosion. Then, Heavenly Devil Evil King groaned, and could not help but retreat more than 10 steps, while Zhuon retreated a few steps. Hybrid Devil King, what are you still standing there for? Join hands with me to capture this child. The reason why this child could easily kill the Devil Child is because the Devil Child underestimated him too much. Heavenly Devil Evil King quickly shouted. Hybrid Devil King saw that Zhuon was actually repelled. Although Heavenly Devil Evil King retreated more, this meant that the gap between them was not too big. Boy, it was not a misunderstanding that we dealt with you just now, we did it on purpose, your time of death has come. Hybrid Devil King sneered, and also released the Divine Devil from his body. Hybrid Devil King's Divine Devil is an old woman in white with disheveled hair, like a female ghost, extremely sinister and terrifying. Let's attack together. If we join hands, this child is definitely not a match. Heavenly Devil Evil King called out to Hybrid Devil King, and once again rushed towards Zhuowen, while Hybrid Devil King chased after, and joined hands with Heavenly Devil Evil King. Two terrifying divine devils stepped on the air, and came from another direction to surround Zhuowen. The terrifying devil chi was so dense that it was almost solid. The entire sea was shrouded in black fog, and it was impossible to see the surrounding scenery clearly. Zhuon calmly stood in the middle of the black fog. He shook his head and said, "Truly two reckless fellows." With that, Zhuon released his divine devil, and suddenly, a terrifying aura swept out, as if the entire sky was trembling because of it. In the void behind him, a purple tree that reached the heavens and the earth appeared. This tree is too huge, as if it is connected to heaven and earth, and the surrounding dense black fog. The moment the purple tree appeared, all dispersed. And on the purple tree, a purple fruit cracked open, and the three-headed six-armed divine devil appeared again, and then bared its fangs and brandished its claws towards Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Devil King's two divine devils. Then, Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Devil King saw an inconceivable scene. The moment their divine devils saw the three-headed six-armed divine devil, they let out a terrified cry, and then quickly fled. And at this moment, Zhuon also made his move. He appeared in front of Heavenly Devil Evil King, and his fists bombarded Heavenly Devil Evil King's body like a storm. Heavenly Devil Evil King roared, and fought with Zhuon with all his might. But soon he discovered that his attack was like a paper in front of Zhuon, unable to withstand a single blow. After his attack was broken, Zhuowen's fists unceremoniously landed on his chest, the terrifying power exploded, and his body exploded into a bloody mist. And Zhuon also took out the purple gold sword embryo, and slashed at the Hybrid Devil King on the other side. Chapter 3994. Boom! Zhuowen suddenly punched out, directly penetrating the Heavenly Devil Evil King's body. The Heavenly Devil Evil King let out a mournful scream and fell from the sky, smashing into the Black Sea. However, the Heavenly Devil Evil King was too powerful, and his aura was vigorous. Therefore, many of the giant beasts and evil spirits in the Black Sea didn't dare to get close to the Heavenly Devil Evil King, even though the Heavenly Devil Evil King was heavily injured and didn't even have the strength to move a finger. At the same time, the Hybrid Demon King let out a blood-curdling scream. His four limbs were cut off by the purple gold sword embryo. His body was full of bloody holes, and he also fell into the Black Sea. Zhuowen looked down at the two great devils lying on the surface of the Black Sea, their auras weak, and said indifferently, "You want me to open my divine soul for you to check? Are you worthy?" The Heavenly Star Saint Master's side was silent. Whether it was the Heavenly Star Saint Master, Lady Qing Wan, or Long Duzi, they were all shocked by this scene. The three demon family heads worked together, but one was killed and the other two were severely injured. Was this guy still human? Another two blood-curdling screams attracted the attention of the Heavenly Star Saint Master and the others. They then realized that the three-headed, six-armed god released by Zhuan had caught up with the hybrid demon king and the sky devil demon king's god. It tore the two gods into pieces and swallowed them into its stomach. What kind of god is this? It actually swallowed other gods. Lady Qinghuan's beautiful eyes were filled with fear. She could not help but blurt out. The heavenly star Saint Master and Long Duzi also revealed a look of fear. After the two fiend gods were devoured by the three-headed six-armed fiend god, the heavenly fiend evil king and hybrid demon king suffered a backlash from the fiend god. They spat out mouthfuls of blood and almost fainted. Their auras were also rapidly weakening. The most important thing for a cultivator of the fiend god transformation realm was the gods and demons they nurtured. That was their foundation. If the gods and demons were destroyed, it was equivalent to their foundation being destroyed. The Sky Devil Demon King and the Hybrid Demon King's strength would greatly decrease. They would not even be comparable to an ordinary cultivator of the Fiend God transformation realm. The Sky Devil Demon King and the Hybrid Demon King had a look of despair. They knew that they were finished. With their foundation destroyed, they had no hope of advancing in the future. They secretly regretted in their hearts. Why did they have to provoke this kid? If they had not been so arrogant and greedy, how could they have ended up like this? Sir, we are willing to submit to you and become your slaves. We only hope that you will spare our lives. The heavenly demon Evil King's face was filled with bitterness. When he felt the killing intent in Zhuowen's eyes, he was terrified and begged for mercy. The hybrid demon king also quickly agreed and expressed his willingness to submit to Zhuowen. Celestial Star Saint Lord and the others were dumbfounded. Who was the heavenly demon Evil King? He was a magnate that was not any weaker than Celestial Star Saint Lord. Now, he was beaten into submission and even had to submit to Zhuowen. Zhuowen indifferently looked at Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Demon King. He thought for a moment and nodded, "Give me your divine soul imprints." Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Devil King were quite strong. Taking them in would not be a bad thing for him. The Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Demon King did not hesitate to give up their divine soul imprints. Then, they struggled to get up and came to Zhuowen's side respectfully. Although Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Devil King were heavily injured, their recovery abilities were very strong. Heavenly Devil Evil King's chest, which was pierced through by Zhuowen, had already started to stop bleeding, and his flesh and blood had started to wriggle and close. As for the Hybrid Demon King's limbs that were cut off, he used some kind of secret technique to regrow them. However, looking at his pale face, one could tell that the Hybrid Demon King had paid a heavy price to use this secret technique. Hun then turned to look at Celestial Star Saint Lord and the others and said indifferently, "I will give the three of you two choices. Either you die or you release them." The Heavenly Star Saint Lord and the other two shuddered as they looked at Zhuowen with fear. Zhuowen was no longer an ordinary fiend god transformation realm cultivator. He was someone who could defeat the heavenly demon king and force him to submit. "We will release them now. Just now, we were just chatting with sect leader Gue. We had no intention of holding them hostage." Long Duzi quickly said. Although Celestial Star Saint Lord and Qinghuan Female Celestial did not say anything, they moved aside and no longer blocked Gue Jing's path. Zhuowen was too powerful. It was not wise to offend such an expert just because they wanted to hold Gue Jing hostage. Gue Jing quickly left Celestial Star Saint Lord and the others and came to Zhuowen's side. She said excitedly, "Daowen, I knew you were strong, but I did not expect you to be this strong. You really surprised me. You are indeed a hero from a young age. Sect leader Gue, are you not going to introduce this friend to us?" Celestial Star Saint Lord coughed and smiled faintly. Gue Jing looked coldly at Celestial Star Saint Lord and said coldly, "Daowen is the Hangu Shengzhen's vice sect leader." Celestial Star Saint Lord and the others were stunned, and their expressions turned ugly. They did not expect Zhuowen to be one of Hangu Shengzhen's men. Moreover, he was the vice sect leader. With Zhuowen's terrifying strength, wouldn't Hangu Shengzhen completely surpass the three great Shengzhen in the future? What made them even more fearful was that Pun had also subdued the Heavenly Devil Evil King and the Hybrid Demon King. Although these two divine demons had been defeated and their strength had decreased greatly, the three demon clans were still very powerful. This force would be used by Hongwu Shengzhen. In the future, who would be able to compete with Hongwu Shengzhen? Brother Daowen, for a talent like you to only be the Hongwu Shengzhen's vice-sect leader, you are simply wronged. How about this? If you join my Celestial Shengzhen, you will be on the same level as me. You have to know that the Celestial Shengzhen is the strongest force among the four Shengzhen. You joining my Celestial Shengzhen is the best choice. Your future is limitless. Celestial Star Saint Lord spoke again and extended an olive branch to Jun. Celestial Star Saint Lord, don't go overboard. Gui Jing's expression changed slightly. At the same time, he looked nervously at Jun. If Jun agreed to join the Celestial Shengzhen, his days would be tough. Naturally, he was very nervous. Celestial Star Saint Lord revealed a confident smile. The Celestial Shengzhen was indeed much stronger than Hongwu Shengzhen and had a deeper foundation. He felt that his request was very generous, and Jun would definitely agree. Jun looked indifferently at the Celestial Star Saint Lord and sneered, "Who do you think you are? Do you have the right to invite me? Who does the Celestial Shengzhen think you are? Do you have the right to ask me to move?" As soon as these words were spoken, the Heavenly Star Saint Lord's face instantly turned gloomy, and he said in a low voice, "Brother Dao, even if you look down on my Heavenly Star Saint sect, you shouldn't insult my Heavenly Star Saint sect and me, right?" Jun shook his head and said, "I have said it before. Who do you think you are? I have insulted you. If you are not convinced, you can challenge me. I can beat you until you are convinced." The Celestial Star Saint Lord's face stiffened. He secretly glanced at the submissive heavenly fiend Evil King behind Jun and felt a chill in his heart. He snorted coldly and didn't reply. "Now, it's time to talk about the compensation," Zhuowen continued. Chapter 3995. Seeing the smile on Zhuowen's face, the three of them felt a chill in their hearts. "Daowen, didn't I say it before? This is all a misunderstanding. It has nothing to do with us," Heavenly Star Sacred Lord said with a dark face. Zhuowen shook his head and waved his sleeve. Instantly, surging godly demon power surged out. The purple gold sword embryo floating beside him let out an earth-shattering sword cry. Then, it shot out and charged towards the Heavenly Star Sacred Master. Heavenly Star Sacred Lord's face changed as he released the divine demon in his body to block in front of him. Heavenly Star Sacred Lord's divine demon was a unicorn that was emitting dense starlight. Once this unicorn appeared, its four hooves jumped in the air as it charged towards the purple gold sword embryo. "A line of heaven and earth." Zhuowen's indifferent voice sounded as the purple gold sword embryo shot out an earth-shattering sword chi. "Bullshit." Instantly, the purple gold sword embryo clashed with the unicorn. After that, the unicorn wailed and was sent flying. The purple gold sword embryo was like a hot knife through butter as it shot towards Heavenly Star Sacred Lord. Its target was the area between his eyebrows. Heavenly Star Sacred Lord's face changed as he felt the deep threat of death and quickly dodged. Unfortunately, the purple gold sword embryo was too fast and brushed past his right arm. Fresh blood splattered across the sky as Heavenly Star Sacred Lord's right arm was chopped off from his shoulder. Heavenly Star Sacred Lord kept retreating as his eyes were filled with shock, anger, and deep fear. Goddess Qing Wan and Long Duzi kept quiet out of fear as they looked at Jun in fear. Was this guy still human? How could he chop off Heavenly Star Sacred Lord's arm so easily? "Lord Daowen, I, Green Phoenix Shengzhen, am willing to compensate you for all your losses. I, Long Duzi Shengzhen, am also willing to compensate you for all your losses." Goddess Qing Wan and Long Duzi bowed their heads. They knew that they had no choice but to bow their heads. Otherwise, what awaited them would be death. Zhuowen stood proudly in midair. He didn't even look at Goddess Qing Wan and Long Duzi. Instead, he looked straight at the Heavenly Star Saint Lord, who was holding his right arm and panicking. "Heavenly Star Saint Lord, there are only two choices in front of you. Either you die under my sword, or you kneel before me and agree to compensate for my losses. Are you convinced?" Zhuowen's cold voice sounded. It was like a sharp sword that pierced through the heavenly star Saint Lord's heart, causing him to involuntarily tremble. In the end, the heavenly star Saint Lord sighed softly and looked at Zhuowen with a complicated expression. Then, under everyone's disbelief, he knelt on the ground and said to Zhuowen in a low voice, "This old man is convinced. I am willing to accept any punishment from Lord Daowen." And requests. When the heavenly devil evil king and hybrid demon king, who were following behind Zhuowen, saw the heavenly star Saint Lord kneel before Zhuowen, they couldn't help but gloat. At the same time, they were even more respectful and reverent toward Zhuowen. Gui Jing was dumbfounded. However, his heart was soon filled with excitement. Zhuowen's strength had far exceeded his expectations. The three demon family heads had joined forces to kill the ghost demon son and severely injure the heavenly devil evil king and hybrid demon king. They had no choice but to submit to him. Fourth, Shenzhen's strongest expert, the heavenly star Saint Lord, wasn't convinced. He had cut off his right arm and forced the heavenly star Saint Lord to kneel and beg for mercy. As for goddess Qing Wan and Long Duzi, they were trembling in fear and were as docile as sheep. Could there be a second terrifying expert like Zhuowen in the entire Liyuan main region? Ling Yun is right. Dao Wen's future is limitless. In the future, he will become one of the top experts in the 100 outer domains. Gui Jing recalled Ling Yun's evaluation of Zhuowen. Initially, he didn't think much of it. However, he was completely convinced now. Since you're convinced, lead the way. Your sect's treasure vault is completely open to me. I will choose 10 items from each of your treasure vaults. Zhuowen said flatly. The heavenly star Saint Lord and the other two's faces changed slightly. However, they had no choice but to agree. The treasure vault was the most important forbidden area in every sect. It was filled with the true treasures of the sect. Now, they had to open the treasure vault to a stranger and allow him to choose 10 treasures. This was a great loss to them. However, he knew that this was the only way. Zhuowen was too strong. He was so strong that he didn't dare to resist. Celestial Star Saint Master, Celestial Maiden Qing Wan, and Long Duzi were crestfallen. They could only lead the way in front. Zhuowen, on the other hand, brought the heavenly devil evil king and hybrid demon king to follow behind the three of them slowly. Gui Jing returned to Hangu Shenzhen under Zhuowen's instructions. They arrived at Green Luan Shenzhen first. Green Luan Shenzhen was built not far from the shore of the Black Sea. Hence, it was the closest. Look, the goddess is back. Are the two beside the goddess Qing Luan the heavenly star Saint Lord and Long Duzi? When the goddess Qing Luan returned to Green Luan Shenzhen, she immediately attracted the attention of the disciples and elders in the sect. Everyone was discussing among themselves. When they saw the heavenly star Saint Lord and Long Duzi, they exclaimed in surprise. The fame of the celestial Saint Lord and Long Duzi was too great. They were the two people with the highest authority in the celestial saint sect and Long Duzi respectively. The celestial Saint Lord, in particular, was known as the strongest warrior in the Liyuan main region. I see the heavenly devil evil king and hybrid demon king. Why are the people from the three demon clans here? Why are the heavenly devil evil king and hybrid demon king so respectful to the young man in front of him? Could it be that this young man has a special background? While they were surprised, many people also noticed Zhuowen, the heavenly devil evil king, and the hybrid demon king behind the heavenly star Saint Lord and the other two. Goddess, bring me to the treasury, Zhuowen said leisurely. Aunt Celestial Qingluan sighed and bowed toward Zhuoweni. After that, she successfully led everyone into the sect and headed straight for the treasury. After a while, the group arrived at the treasury of Green Luan Shenzhen. The treasury of Green Luan Shenzhen was located in the back mountain of Green Luan Shenzhen. It was an extremely secluded place. The door of the treasury was made of extremely thick and heavy stones. At this moment, two white-haired elders were sitting cross-legged on both sides of the door. The aura of these two people was extremely powerful. It was like a vast ocean. As they breathed in and out, a violent airflow was set off around them. Zhuowen could tell at a glance that these two elders were experts in the divine demon transformation realm. However, They were only in the middle stage of the divine demon transformation realm. They were still far from the goddess Qing Wan and the others. The arrival of a group of people naturally woke the two elders up. One of the elders with rosacea nodded slightly when he saw the goddess Qing Wan. Then he saw the heavenly star Saint Lord and Jun. He could not help but be stunned. Heavenly star Saint Lord, Long Duzi, heavenly devil evil king, hybrid demon king. Chapter 3996. Ninth Elder, open the door to the treasury. Lady Qingwan said helplessly. The old man with rosacea suddenly stood up and looked at Lady Qingwan in disbelief. Lady Qingwan, the treasury is the forbidden area of our Qingwan Shengzhen. It's also our foundation. How can we casually open it in front of outsiders? We have to let these people leave first. They have to leave this place. The other old man also quickly stood up to dissuade Lady Qingwan. With Lady Qingwan's identity, she naturally had the qualifications to enter the treasury. However, the heavenly star Saint Lord and the others weren't from the Qingwan Shengzhen. How could they open it in front of them? What if they attacked? What if they snatched the treasury? With me around, the heavenly star Saint Lord and the others won't dare to snatch your treasury. Open the door. Zhuowen said impatiently. He didn't want to waste time on this. He only wanted the old man to open the door quickly. Where did this brat come from? What qualifications do you have to make me open the door for you? Get lost. The old man with rosacea looked coldly at Zhuowen and scolded him disdainfully. However, as soon as he finished speaking, a pure white hand appeared in front of him and fiercely landed on his cheek. Slap. A crisp slap sounded. The old man with rosacea covered his cheek and looked at Lady Qingwan in a daze. He blurted out, Lady Qingwan, why did you hit me? Immediately after, the old man with rosacea found that Lady Qingwan walked respectfully to the young man he had scolded. She bowed deeply and said, Lord Daowen, the ninth elder has eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. I hope you won't be too calculative with him. Lady Qingwan, why are you? The old man with rosacea was in disbelief and quickly said, Shut up. How can this Lord Daowen be someone that you can talk about? He's an existence that even the heavenly star Saint Lord and the heavenly devil evil king don't dare to disobey. Who do you think you are? Why aren't you apologizing? Lady Qingwan hurriedly gave a meaningful glance to the old man with rosacea. At the same time, she secretly transmitted a message to him, reminding him how strong Zhuowen was. Only then did the red-nosed old man and the other old man realize the severity of the situation. They finally realized that no matter if it was the heavenly star Saint Lord, the heavenly devil evil king, or Long Duzi, they were all standing respectfully beside this young man. They did not dare to say a single word. It was as if he was facing some big shot. Their hearts trembled, knowing that the young man in front of them was definitely a big shot. This old man has eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. Please forgive me, my lord. The two old men hurriedly bowed their heads, not daring to show the slightest disrespect. Zhuowen waved his hand and said, No need for formalities, open the door quickly. Goddess Qing Wan has already promised me that she will compensate me with 10 items from your treasury. I will only take 10 items and I will leave after taking them. The two old men nodded repeatedly, stood up, and began to open the door of the treasury. Rumble. The heavy stone door slowly rose, revealing the dark tunnel inside. Lady Qingwan hurriedly went forward and whispered, Lord Daowen, let me lead the way for you. Zhuowen nodded, and then Lady Qingwan tiptoed in front to lead the way, while Zhuowen slowly followed behind. After Lady Qingwan and Zhuowen's figures disappeared from the door, the red-nosed old man and the other old man let out a sigh of relief, but their hearts were filled with doubts. What was the background of this young man that suddenly appeared? He could actually make their respected Lady Qingwan tremble in fear, and even the heavenly star Saint Lord did not dare to speak. Two reckless slaves. If it wasn't for Lord Daowen's benevolence, the two of you would already be two corpses. In the future, keep your eyes open. The heavenly devil evil king ridiculed in disdain. The two old men did not dare to refute. This was the heavenly devil evil king. a peak expert comparable to the heavenly star Saint Lord. How could they afford to offend him? Your Qingyuan Shengzhen has quite a lot of good things. After entering the treasury, Zhuowen's divine sense spread out. Instantly, in the huge treasury, everything was under Zhuowen's control. Lady Qingyuan smiled bitterly and did not reply, but her heart was bleeding. Zhuowen's eyes suddenly lit up. He came to the center of the treasury, where a broken halberd was inserted. This halberd was mottled and rusty, but it emitted an extremely strong aura. Rank 5-star soldier, Yuan muttered to himself, and his heart was filled with joy. He did not expect to encounter a rank 5-star soldier the moment he arrived. This was quite beneficial to him. Lady Qingyuan's beautiful face slightly changed. This rank 5-star soldier was one of the most precious things in their Qingyuan Shengzhen. From Zhuowen's expression, the latter seemed to like it very much. However, Lady Qingyuan was also helpless. If Zhuowen liked it, how could she oppose? The first one. Zhuowen pulled out the halberd and stored it in the outside world without any hesitation. 3 stalks of heaven-breaking divine medicine, take it. 3 heaven-breaking divine artifacts, take it. Zhuowen browsed through the treasury again and again, storing the most precious things in the treasury into the outside world. When Lady Qingyuan saw this scene, she only felt her heart bleeding. These were all the most precious things in the Qingyuan Shengzhen, but she was powerless to do anything. She could only watch as Zhuowen casually picked the best treasures in the treasury. After Zhuowen kept the 10th treasure, he looked at Lady Qingyuan and said indifferently, "I've taken all 10 items, let's go." Lady Qingyuan sighed softly and brought Zhuowen away. After leaving Qingyuan Shengzhen, Yuan headed straight for Dragon Battle Shengzhen and Heavenly Star Shengzhen, each choosing 10 treasures from the 2 sections. What made Zhuowen pleasantly surprised was that Dragon Battle Shengzhen and Heavenly Star Shengzhen both had rank 5-star weapons. Especially Heavenly Star Shengzhen, there were actually 3 rank 5-star weapons in its treasury. As expected of the number 1 sect among the 4 Shengzhen, its foundation was really deep. At the same time, he also obtained a rank 5-star weapon in Dragon Battle Shengzhen. In other words, if he did not count the purple gold sword embryo, he had a total of 5 rank 5-star weapons. "Sir, we are willing to offer all the treasures in our treasury to you." After leaving Heavenly Star Shengzhen, Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Demon King respectfully said to Zhuowen. Their divine soul imprints were controlled by Zhuowen. As long as Zhuowen wanted them to die, there was no need to make a move. With just a thought, they would die without a doubt. Right now, they had placed their positions very well. They were Zhuowen's slaves, which was why they fought. It was as if they had given their treasury to Zhuowen. Zhuowen shook his head and said, "I know you guys are still unconvinced. I won't touch your treasury. I will only take the star weapons in your treasury. I won't take anything else. Also, if you guys perform well, I might be able to reforge your god and devil." When these words came out, Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Demon King both widened their eyes and looked at Zhuowen in disbelief. The god and devil were the foundation of their god and devil transformation, and the destruction of the god and devil was equivalent to the destruction of their foundation. In the entire 100 outer domains, no one had ever been able to reforge their god and devil after their god and devil were destroyed. It was almost impossible. But the youth in front of them said that he could reforge their god and devil. Was this really possible? The two quickly thought of Zhuowen's unfathomable god and devil. Perhaps this person could really reforge their god and devil. Lord Dao went above. "The two of us will definitely go through water and tread on fire for Lord, even if we have to die 10,000 times." The two of them deeply bowed to Zhuowen. Chapter 3997. In the secret room of Hangu Shengzhen, Zhuowen sat cross-legged. 10 different rank 5 astral weapons floated in front of him. He had obtained 5 rank 5 astral weapons from Heavenly Shengzhen, Qingyuan Shengzhen, and Longdo Shengzhen. He had also obtained 5 rank 5 astral weapons from the 3 devil clans. Zhuowen waved his sleeves and took out the purple gold sword embryo. His eyes flickered as he muttered to himself, "If I fuse with these 10 rank 5 astral weapons, the purple gold sword embryo should be able to become a rank 6 astral weapon. He had asked Guijing before. In the entire Liyuan main region, there had never been a rank 6 astral weapon. This astral weapon was too powerful. Once it appeared, no force in the Liyuan main region could subdue it. Only the overlord of the Hushu region, Huxley, was rumored to have a rank 6 astral weapon. Its power was unparalleled. As long as he could upgrade the purple gold sword embryo to a rank 6 astral weapon, coupled with his mysterious divine demon, he should have a high chance of saving Shan Lingyun. Let's begin. Zhuowen's eyes turned serious. He formed a seal with both hands, and the divine demon's power surged out like waves. Under his control, the purple gold sword embryo instantly flew towards the nearest rank 5 astral weapon. Zhuowen was expressionless as he watched the purple gold sword embryo absorb the rank 5 astral weapons. He was very diligent in controlling the purple gold sword embryo to fuse with the other astral weapons. 3 months later, an extremely purple light suddenly shot out from the depths of Hongwu Shengzhen. It soared into the sky and lit up the entire sky. It was as if the entire sky was dyed purple. A terrifying aura was exposed, and the entire Hongwu Shengzhen shook. Many disciples with low cultivations couldn't help but kneel on the ground. They looked at the purple light pillar that seemed to be able to pierce through the sky in horror. It came from the Vice Sect Master's palace. Could it be that the Vice Sect Master had a breakthrough? This aura is so terrifying. Soon, the people in the sect also noticed the direction of the light beam. It was coming from Zhuowen's palace. They all discussed secretly, but did not dare to approach. Guijing rushed out of the sect master's palace and came to the deputy sect master's palace where Zhuowen was. At the same time, Pei Shanglong and the other 8 elders of the 10 halls walked out from their respective seclusion, each of them looking at this scene in shock. The purple light pillar disappeared, and the door of the vice sect master's palace suddenly opened, and a figure slowly walked out. Everyone looked over and saw that this figure was none other than Zhuowen. They saw a purple longsword revolving around Zhuowen's body. This purple longsword was the purple sword embryo. Although it looked rough in some places, overall, it looked more like an extremely sharp sword than a sword embryo. After fusing with 10 stage 5-star weapons, the purple gold sword embryo had undergone an inconceivable transformation. In the end, it had successfully transformed into a stage 6-star weapon, and its power had increased by an unknown amount. Zhuowen slowly raised his head, a sharp light shooting out from his eyes. Guijing and the elders of the 10 halls felt a chill in their hearts. This cold light was like a substance, shooting into their eyes, piercing through their souls, causing them to feel as if their entire bodies were frozen. It was as if they were frozen. Amongst the crowd, other than Guijing, Pei Shanglong and the other 8 elders of the 10 halls all lowered their heads, their bodies trembling violently. Trembling, it was as if they had been ruthlessly stimulated by the ice. The corners of their mouths revealed bitter smiles. They finally understood a fact. The current Zhuowen's strength had already reached a level that was difficult for them to reach. Perhaps the other party could destroy them with just a raise of his hand, and they couldn't help but think of the inconceivable fact that Guijing had told them. The Heavenly Star Holy Lord, Lady Qing Wan, the Heavenly Devil Evil King, and the other peak experts of the Liyuan main region were all beaten into submission by Zhuowen, not even letting out a fart. As a result, their gazes toward Zhuowen were filled with reverence. That was the reverence from the bottom of their hearts towards the strong. Dawen, this star weapon of yours seems to have become even stronger. Could it be? Guijing's gaze couldn't help but fall on the purple gold divine sword that was revolving around Zhuowen's body. He discovered that this purple gold sword embryo had become even more like a divine sword, and its aura was also much more vast. Zhuowen nodded and said in a deep voice, "Sect Master is right. This sword has already advanced to become a stage 6-star weapon." What? It's actually a stage 6-star weapon. Guijing was dumbstruck. The 8 elders of the 10 halls were in an uproar. Zhuowen's words were simply too impactful. A stage 6-star weapon. A star weapon of this level had never appeared in the entire Liyuan main region, but now it had truly appeared in front of them. After all, a star weapon was not a heaven-breaking divine artifact. A star weapon's power was much stronger than a heaven-breaking divine artifact. In terms of power, a stage 6 star weapon's power was probably even greater than a heaven-breaking divine artifact's stage 9 star weapon. Good. Dawen, with this stage 6 star weapon, you must be more confident in saving Ling Yun. Gui Jing came back to his senses and was overjoyed. Zhuan nodded. After discussing with Gui Jing some specific matters regarding the trip to Huxley, he went into seclusion again. He still had time. This trip to Huxley was full of danger. He had to be fully prepared before setting off. In the following period of time, Zhuan had been exploring his divine demons, as well as improving his array Dao and alchemy Dao. With the help of Hongwu Shengzhen's resources, Zhuan only spent 2 years to improve his alchemy and array Dao to the heaven-breaking divine artifacts stage 8. And he had more or less figured out his own divine demons. His divine demon's body was that huge purple tree. On the tree, there were a total of 108 purple fruits. Each fruit could give birth to a powerful divine demon. Moreover, he discovered that the divine demons born from the purple tree could be fused into a cultivator's body through bestowment, turning them into the latter's divine demon. It was just that after bestowing divine demons to others, Zhuan's consumption was huge. He needed a period of time to recover some of his vitality. After figuring out his own divine demons, Zhuan sent a message to the demonic sky evil king and the hybrid demon king, asking them to come to Hongwu Shengzhen immediately. The demonic sky evil king and the hybrid demon king were very efficient. In less than 3 days, they arrived at Hongwu Shengzhen, causing many Hongwu Shengzhen disciples to be nervous. The demonic sky evil king's fame was widespread. He was a top expert on the same level as the heavenly star Saint Lord. He was even stronger than Gui Jing of Hongwu Shengzhen. This person and the hybrid demon king's arrival naturally caused many disciples to feel fear and pressure. Gui Jing and the 10 palace elders were also alarmed. Demonic sky evil king, hybrid demon king. What are they doing here? Pei Shanglong said with an ugly expression. Chapter 3998. No way. They are from the 3 demon families and are unpardonable evil. If we let them in, wouldn't we be inviting wolves into a flock of sheep? The guard quickly shook his head, his legs trembling. Within the sect, many disciples also raised their voices of objection. Even the elders of the 10 halls persuaded Zhuan that the heavenly demon evil king was ambitious and could not be trusted easily. Zhuan said impatiently, "Open the mountain gate or you will be dealt with according to the sect rules." Seeing this, the guard knew that Zhuan was a little angry and could only brace himself to open the mountain gate and then quickly retreat. After the mountain gate was opened, the heavenly demon evil king and the hybrid demon king entered the sect and then knelt in front of Zhuan in front of everyone's incredulous eyes and bowed respectfully. The entire sect was silent. Although there were rumors that Zhuan had subdued the 3 demon family patriarchs, most people thought that it was just a rumor. Now it seemed that this was not a rumor but a reality. The gazes with which everyone looked at Zhuan became even more reverent. "Come with me." Zhuan nodded and then turned and walked towards the deputy sect master's hall. The heavenly demon evil king and the hybrid demon king hurriedly followed, feeling a little nervous. They did not know why Zhuan had summoned the 2 of them. Could it be that they had done something wrong? When Zhuan and others left, the entire sect was in an uproar. Wow, Deputy Sect Master Daowen is so cool. He only said 1 sentence and the heavenly demon evil king and the hybrid demon king did not even dare to fart. They followed him obediently. Yeah, the Deputy Sect Master is so impressive. I wonder when I can be like him. He's so cool. The disciples in the sect all had looks of worship on their faces. In the Deputy Sect Master's hall, the heavenly demon evil king and the hybrid demon king looked uneasily at Zhuan who had his back facing them. Zhuan did not say anything and they did not dare to say anything. "I'm going to Huxley to save someone. Are the 2 of you willing to come with me?" Zhuan turned around and looked at the heavenly fiend evil king and hybrid demon king. Heavenly devil evil king and hybrid demon king were startled at first, then they revealed looks of disbelief, as if they had just heard something unbelievable. Sir, you must be joking. The Yimo king smiled bitterly. Huxley was a giant existence in the Hushu domain. He was the true ruler of the Hushu domain. In the entire Hushu domain, who could save someone from the hands of such a giant? Heavenly Devil Evil King's face was also full of bitterness. He also felt that Zhuowen's words were somewhat whimsical. Do I look like I'm joking? Zhuowen coldly looked at Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Devil King and continued, If you agree to come with me, I will help you restore your divine devils. If you don't want to, I won't force you. The Heavenly Fiend Evil King and Hybrid Demon King, who didn't care at first, narrowed their eyes and looked at Zhuowen in disbelief. Sir, you can really restore our divine devils? Heavenly Devil Evil King excitedly asked. After they lost their divine devils, it can be said that they lost their divine devils for a long time. During this time, after they returned to the three devil families, they didn't dare to say anything about their divine devils being destroyed. Therefore, the three devil families are still willing to listen to them. However, they were very clear that as time passed, clues would eventually be discovered. When the experts of the three devil clans knew that their gods and devils had been destroyed, and their strength had greatly decreased, the experts of the three devil clans would definitely turn against them. At that time, they won't have the strength to suppress the rebellion. But Zhuowen's words reignited their hope. Now I will ask you again, are you willing to come with me to Huxley? Zhuowen still calmly asked. I am willing. Heavenly Devil Evil King agreed without hesitation. Divine devils are too important to him, they represent his future achievements. Otherwise, he will be destroyed. He is willing to take the risk. Hybrid Demon King hesitated for a moment and also agreed. Good. You will be gratified by today's decision. Zhuowen nodded, a trace of smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, then he released his divine devil. A huge purple tree appeared in the void, on each of its branches hung purple fruits. Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Demon King silently looked at this huge purple tree, their eyes were filled with awe. They knew very well how terrifying Zhuowen's god and demon were. Especially the god and demon born from this tree. It had devoured their god and demon. It was truly terrifying. Zhuowen made a grabbing motion in the air with his right hand, and two purple fruits fell into his palm. If you look carefully, Zhuowen's face is actually a bit pale. He handed the two fruits to Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Demon King and said indifferently, Eat these two fruits. Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Demon King looked at each other, took the purple fruits, and ate them without hesitation. After a while, the two only felt a warm current, crazily sweeping through their limbs and bones, and then extreme pain came, causing the two to scream miserably, and fell to the ground and kept rolling. Zhuowen silently looked at this scene, his eyes bursting with astonishing light. This is the first time he used this method. According to his calculation, as long as he eats his purple fruit, he should be able to produce a corresponding powerful divine devil in the cultivator's body. About a few hours later, Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Demon King's screams gradually weakened, and then the two's aura rapidly rose at a speed visible to the naked eye. A shocking roar came from the two's body, and then the two's divine devil phantom suddenly rushed out of their bodies. Heavenly Devil Evil King's divine devil phantom is a huge divine devil with a wolf head and a human body. Its aura is extremely tyrannical and powerful, not at all weaker than Zhuowen's divine devil phantom that was born from the purple fruit. The demon god that flew out from the Hybrid Demon King's body was a black samurai covered in pitch-black armor. There were 7 black samurai swords on his back. Under the influence of the divine devil phantom, Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Demon King's cultivation rapidly rose, and in an instant, they reached the peak of divine devil transformation. Especially Heavenly Devil Evil King, he is almost half a step into the ancient star transformation. His aura is far stronger than the peak of divine devil transformation. Moreover, the divine devil phantom that was born from the two is also extremely extraordinary, not weaker than Zhuowen's divine devil phantom. Ordinary divine devil transformation cultivators' divine devil phantom is simply not a match for their divine devil phantom. My divine devil phantom has recovered, and this divine devil is very powerful. and our cultivation has also broken through. Heavenly Devil Evil King and Hybrid Demon King stood up, feeling the vast power in their body. They were pleasantly surprised. Many thanks, Lord. We are very grateful. Chapter 3999. Zhuowen nodded, and his expression was tranquil. He had already experienced how powerful his divine demon was. Therefore, he was not surprised when the Heavenly Fiend Evil King and the Hybrid Demon King gave birth to a new divine demon. My lord, when do you plan to go to Huxley? After the Heavenly Fiend Evil King and the Hybrid Demon King calmed down, they looked at Zhuowen and asked anxiously. Zhuowen sighed. He was fully prepared now, but he knew how powerful and terrifying Huxley was. Although he was extremely powerful now, he did not know if he could save Shan Lingyun. However, he knew that if his array skills could reach heaven-breaking level 9, he would have a high chance of breaking into Huxley and saving Shan Lingyun. As far as he knew, there were very few people in the entire Huxley region who could reach heaven-breaking level 9. Although there were heaven-breaking level 9 array masters in Huxley region, it was said that there were only 2 of them. Zhuowen knew that if his array skills were only at heaven-breaking level 8, the array inside Huxley would be a big obstacle for him. However, if his array skills could reach heaven-breaking level 9, it would be much easier for him to break into Huxley without anyone noticing. However, what made him helpless was that he had flipped through the entire Hangwu Shengzhen ancient books about array skills. The highest one he found was only at heaven-breaking level 8. Zhuowen believed that with his current terrifying power of understanding, as long as he could read the heaven-breaking level 9 array Dao ancient books, his array skills would reach heaven-breaking level 9 within a few years. The Heavenly Fiend Evil King and the Hybrid Demon King saw that Zhuowen did not answer for a long time and were a little nervous. The 2 of them did not dare to say anything and just waited silently for Zhuowen to speak. Finally, Zhuowen came back to his senses and said in a deep voice, "Going to Huxley is an important matter after all. It's not urgent yet. Let me ask you, are there any heaven-breaking 9 runes in the Liyuan main region?" The Heavenly Fiend Evil King and Mantis Demon King looked at each other, and even though they were confused by Zhuowen's words, they still shook their heads and said, "A heaven-breaking divine array master has never appeared in our Liyuan main region. Our Liyuan main region can only be considered below average among the many main regions in the Heshu realm. The highest formation master is only at Heaven Breaker level 8. Zhuowen was slightly disappointed. If he didn't have the Heaven Breaching level 9 formation Dao book, it was basically impossible for him to break through to Heaven Breaching level 9 in a few years. He would need to explore step by step, and that would take too much time. My lord, in the entire Heshu realm, the Bright Mist main region is the only place that has ever produced a heaven-breaking level 9 divine formation master. The Heavenly Devil Evil King suddenly spoke. Oh, Bright Mist realm? Zhuowen's eyes lit up. He had heard of Bright Mist realm before. It was said that among the many main regions in the Heshu realm, it was the most prosperous and had the deepest foundation. It was undoubtedly the number 1 main region among the many main regions. Such a powerful main region, it was really possible for a heaven-breaking level 9 formation Dao master to appear. Do you know the details? Zhuowen's eyes lit up as he asked. Heavenly Devil Demon King was also very excited. Obviously, he was also very happy to be able to help Zhuowen. He quickly said, "I once went to Bright Mist realm to pay a visit to this god-tier master. He is a supreme old ancestor of the Lin family of Bright Mist realm. He was a true formation Dao genius back then. When I went to visit him back then, this god-tier master was already at the end of his lifespan. I don't know if he is still around now." Zhuowen, on the other hand, was rather interested. The presence of this god-tier master did not affect him at all. If he could obtain this god-tier master's array Dao scripture and borrow his experience, Zhuowen believed that he could smoothly break through to become a heaven-breaking level 9 array Dao god-tier master. "Bring me to the Bright Mist main region," Zhuowen said solemnly. Heavenly Devil Demon King quickly agreed. In the next few days, Zhuowen made some preparations and said goodbye to Gui Jing. Lin family of Bright Mist realm? Daowen, I've heard of the Lin family. Although they aren't the most powerful force in the Radiant Mist main region, They are very influential because they specialize in cultivating divine array masters. Therefore, there are many experts in the Radiant Mist main region and even other main regions. Many forces in the Heshu realm are on good terms with them so that they can ask the Lin family to set up a powerful formation. Gui Jing frowned slightly and continued, "If you are visiting them for their formation Dao book, I think it will be a little difficult." Gui Jing knew very well that a formation Dao family like the Lin family would place great importance on the formation Dao book. Even the members of the Lin family might not be able to read the core formation Dao book, let alone an outsider like Zhuan. "I have my ways." Zhuan smiled slightly and left with Heavenly Devil Demon King and Hybrid Demon King. Gui Jing silently looked at Zhuowen's back and murmured, "Daowen, I hope that you will be safe this time. Don't let anything happen to you." Bright Mist Realm was located in the extreme north of Heshu Realm. It was quite far from Liyuan Realm. It was basically impossible to cross the border with the divine ship. Therefore, Heavenly Devil Demon King brought Zhuowen to the Divine Palace teleportation formation in Liyuan Realm. After paying a certain fee, the three of them left Liyuan Realm. What appeared in front of Zhuowen was a simple and elegant hall. He, Heavenly Devil Demon King, and Hybrid Demon King were standing in the teleportation formation. At this moment, the cultivators beside the teleportation formation were quite impatient when they saw that the three of them had not come down. However, they soon found that the three of them were extremely terrifying. They were all experts in the Fiend God transformation realm. Their faces immediately stiffened and they did not dare to say anything to drive them away. The three of them. After leaving the teleportation formation, Heavenly Devil Demon King took out a divine ship and said to Zhuowen, "My lord, the Divine Palace teleportation formation is still a long distance away from the Lin family. If you are not in a hurry, we can take the divine ship." Zhuowen did not refuse. He could use this time to continue to consolidate his cultivation on the divine ship. He might even be able to advance further. After all, he had obtained a lot of good things in the Four Shenzhen's treasury. There was no lack of top-grade divine medicine and divine pills for cultivation. With the help of these divine medicine and divine pills, Zhuowen believed that he should be able to break through a small realm in a short time and reach the middle stage of the Fiend God transformation realm. Time passed slowly. After Zhuowen entered the divine ship, he immediately went into seclusion. Heavenly Devil Demon King and Hybrid Demon King stood respectfully on the deck and patrolled and controlled the divine ship. They were like two most loyal guards. Because the Radiant Mist Realm was located in the extreme north of the Hushu Realm, the entire Radiant Mist Realm was covered in snow. Moreover, the snow in the Radiant Mist Realm was as heavy as goose feathers. It was extremely cold. Ordinary cultivators with low cultivation would be easily frozen to death if they were to be trapped in the snow. We should be very close to the Lin family. In another 3 days, we should be able to reach the Lingyun city controlled by the Lin family. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.